Okay. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Vijay Ramjatan. I'm the president of CEC28. I want to welcome you all to our calendar meeting and business meeting for District 28 today, which is the first Thursday of November. Welcome to November. We are in November. Yes, I'm going to say it again. We are in November. You believe this? We are in November. Where the time went. Yeah, so we are here. Hopefully everyone is having a lovely school year so far and a wonderful week so far. And we want to welcome all of you. So before we get further any started anymore, I would like to introduce our interpreters in the room to say a few words. So at this time, I'm going to be inviting our Spanish interpreter station to please introduce themselves and make an announcement.
Good evening. My name is Bianca Fernandez. This will be the Spanish announcement. Buenas tardes. Para interpretación en español, llame al número de teléfono 347-966-4114 y entre el código 228-147-898, símbolo numeral. Nuevamente, ese número es 347-966-4114 y el código que van a entrar es 228-147-898, símbolo numeral. Por favor, asegúrese de silenciar el micrófono de sus dispositivos al entrar a la línea de interpretación. Gracias. Spanish announcement complete.
Thank you so much. So again, I always want to highlight this because of the need in our community. We have had many families not say they want Spanish interpretation, and the one time we don't have it, that's when they show up sometimes. And then we're like, what happened? You be asked for it. So going forward, we're going to be making sure that we have Spanish interpretation at our meetings going forward. And if there are any other families in our community or district that needs to have interpretation, be it Mandarin, be it Bangla, be it Punjab, be it Russian, whatever it is, you just let us know, and then we can try to make sure that we have those services available for you, the parents. Before we go any further, I'd like to ask our recording secretary, Natifa Lewis, to please do the roll call. Natifa?
President Vijay Ramjatan.
I am here.
First Vice President Quentin Meziton.
Here.
Second Vice President Yutar Cheng.
Here.
Recording Secretary Natifa Lewis, I'm here. Treasurer Tanya Wendt.
Here.
Member Julie Sell.
Here.
Member Lou Zhao.
Here.
Member Nurun Swapna.
Okay.
Member GK Kalyanara.
I'm here.
Member Paquito Williams.
Here.
Member Simone Donbar.
Here.
Member Lauren Clavin.
Here.
Thank you, recording secretary Natifa Lewis. And I believe we have a full house. Is that true?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woohoo! We got a full house. Yay! Excellent. And hardworking council members doing what they do. Amazing work. And Natifa, can you mute, please? Thank you so much. At this point in time, I'll be asking our first vice president. I'm hearing an echo. Is it me?
Yeah.
Okay, it is me. Okay, we'll figure it out. Let's hold on. Hello, are you hearing
Sorry,
me?
Spanish interpreter speaking. I hear an echo as well.
Okay, so that was, I think, Bianca's line. That's okay. Thank you, Bianca. We're gonna be asking our first vice president, Mr. Quentin Meziton, to please make an announcement about our chat feature. Quentin?
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming. So we have our chat. Our chat is open, and it will stay open as long as you all stay respectful. Any hint of disrespect or bias or anything like that, we're just gonna close the chat. But we might just kick you out if it's like, but we're gonna close the chat just for the sake of it, just to make it easy. So please just be respectful. We're all here to learn and grow, and we're the best district. We're all here in person, and we're like, come on, like this is District 28, the grade, so we want to keep it like that. And we will be, anyone who wants to speak, just let us know, put speak, and we will take your number, and we will let you guys know, and you guys can speak at the end. So other than that, keep the respect.
Thank you, Quentin. That was his speech for office one day. Can you mute that, please? So my friends, once again, welcome to District 28's Community Education Council calendar meeting. So Quentin said he will take your numbers. If you want to speak, he means your name. So please just write the word speak in the chat feature, and we'll have a team of members. We have Pakita today, and we'll have Lu Zhao. Lou and Pakita can track the chat for those who want to speak. You just look at the chat feature and you're going to make a list of the names of people who are going to speak and put the word speak, and then your name will be called in the order in which you signed up to speak. I just want to say a few words to our council members. My report is always about uplifting the great work this council has been doing for the past umpteen years, but especially every year where we have a new board of members. If you can see what I'm seeing in this room, you have all these dedicated members who have families, lives, jobs, but they take time out of their busy schedule to be here to advocate and to do this work that is passionate and is purposeful. And I want to acknowledge and lift that up very high to all of them who's doing this work day in and day out, going to the schools, visiting the schools, uplifting the principals, the parents, bringing the concerns of the families to the meetings, and uplifting and unifying this district in a very unique and wonderful way that is exemplary for the entire city. Also leading very exemplary for our district is someone who entered and came in here last year, right, Dr. Blake, last year? He came in last year as our superintendent. And when he came in, as of course, every person who enters our district have their own style of doing things. They have their own mode of conduct and what they do. However, what we have here in our district is a kind of a supportive, collaborative way of working. And he came into that and he joined and he fit right in, working alongside with us, the council, and all stakeholders in the district. It gives me great pleasure to welcome our district superintendent, Dr. Blake, to make his remarks. Dr. Blake.
Thanks. Good afternoon, everyone. Are you seeing the screen?
Yes, we are. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. So I just want to say good evening to the parents and the families and educators on the line. Just want to apologize. Today is parent-teacher conference for most of our schools. So that will sort of affect the number of principals on tonight's presentation. But I just want to thank you all for your rapt attention to our meeting. As we said, the leadership, the Grade 28 welcomes Chancellor Melissa Aviles Ramos. She was formerly the Deputy Chancellor of Family and Community Engagement and External Affairs, as well as the Chief of Staff to former Chancellor David Banks. In those roles, she oversaw innovative family engagement programs at the New York City Literacy Hubs and launched and led Project Open Arms, our unprecedented effort to welcome, enroll, and support 45,000 plus of our newest New Yorkers. So we look forward to her visiting us in the district quite soon. These are the priorities that I've been emphasizing in the district to improve outcomes in mathematics by implementing common research-based curriculum and introducing or scaling where appropriate Regents level courses for scholars. Our next priority is to improve literacy, to enable all our students to be able to read. And these strategies are based on the science of reading. To that effect, we have been piloting and implementing the HMH curriculum in all K-8 schools. We were trying to work substantially to improve daily attendance and reduce chronic absenteeism. And I must report that the district is doing very well in that area. We'll continue to increase parent and family engagement and community partnerships in our district. Last month, we have Chief of Staff Domingo visited District 28 just to give a pulse of the district. And we got favorable ratings that the district is focused around New York City Reads and New York City Solves about literacy and mathematics proficiency, which align to the district's vision. I want to take a look at our L's. The English language learners, we know that we are disproportionately have a large number of L's. About almost 25% of all our students are L's. English language learners are current or former L's. Of that percentage, more than half sit in our K through 5 classrooms, with the largest numbers in grades K through 3. Our English language proficiency levels varies across bands, with a growing population of entering emerging language learners and high concentrations of expanding language learners. We must create, sustain, and expand opportunities for inclusivity across all our classrooms, and we welcome and affirm all our learners. The district, we have a great need for autism. You know, autism is on the spectrum all over the city, but for District 28, the DOE has developed capacity building training for district staff on best practices to support autistic students in the community schools, right? So my office has identified 2 staff members who will be experts in supporting autistic learners. And the following supports will be made available with these identified staff members. There'll be an overview of autism. The workshop will speak about overview of communication skills, overview of executive functions, as well as sensor processing regulations. And I understand that this will be 2 members. However, the purpose of these workshops is to have them recorded so that we could bring it back to the district, back to the schools, and ultimately back to teachers to become adept at teaching autism. District 28 attendance policy that I mentioned before, by June 2025, we will increase the district-wide attendance by 2 percentage points, moving from 90 to 92.7, excluding students who are long-term international travelers. And we're hoping that by June 2025, we'll chip away at reducing chronic absenteeism by 10% from 35 to 31. Where are we now in terms of taking a pulse on our attendance? Our year-to-date overall attendance is 92.7% versus 90.9% in the city. So we are really thanking the families to working with us to send us your youngsters. Chronic absenteeism is also very good. We're at 24.6. Last year at this time, we were at 26.4. So we are making strides in the right direction. Professional development. On election day, we had collaborated with districts 2630 and high school, Bronx High School, and the consortium of international schools to have some focus on best school-based practices to improve both overall attendance and chronic absenteeism. So we are piloting and collaborating with other districts to look at strategies to really help with the attendance. So that's what we have been doing in District 28. There's a big topic about class size reductions. This is what we are currently, our status in District 28, right? Presently, we are achieving our 3% target for class size reduction. The DOE has said that we should do 3%, and we are making that and exceeding that. The New York City target, however, for 2025, 2026 is 60% reduction in class size. For the 2025-26 class size reduction will be encompassing a joint effort between the New York City Public Schools, let's see if I could go back, between the New York City Public Schools, the UFT and the CSA, the different unions. So we'll be looking at a collaborative approach where the unions will come together, sit with their SLTs, and they'll submit applications for funding. So we are going through the schools to make sure we work with those schools to make sure those applications are robust, and that District 28 should be the front of the seat in really getting those approved applications so we could really catapult, class size reduction. So that's a major focus of the district, and we are really on top of this. We are working with schools, especially schools that are very chronically, populated. We are looking at those schools to see what we can put in place, and the government and the city is willing to pay us as well, pay those school teachers and the leaders of the school, the families, SLT, to get that done. It's a joint collaboration. Finally, I would like to, as a superintendent, to recognize and honor VJ, who was honored by the mayor of the city and city council for its exceptional leadership on the CEC, VJ, as well as your advocacy, mentorship, and support for those within our community. Your dedication and vision have significantly contributed to the success and progress of our school community. So we are grateful for your steadfast support in our continued efforts to improve our schools and the support you provide to our students, parents, and educators. So on behalf of District 28 Superintendency and the entire community, we'd like to extend congratulations to VJ on this well-deserved honor. Thank you very much. So this ends my presentation. I will be available to answer questions as much as possible. Thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you, Dr. Blake. I had all of you with me there, my entire district. I wear my district with me wherever I go. In that hat I wear on top there, you're all in there. And also GK was there with his wonderful family, our council member. It was for the Diwali celebrations at City Hall. And you know, I'm glad that District 28 is being recognized by the city, not me per se, but it's, you know, it's nice that I'm from this district, but we all succeed together. So thank you for your recognition. I appreciate it. Dr. Blake, I have a question for you, real quick. Since you came to the district and you've been here, how you think things are going in the direction of the district? How do you think, just broadly, nothing specific, anything
Right.
here?
Definitely. So overall, I'm pleased to see the work and the efforts of the leadership in the district. The principals are really on the pulse of what's important, which is the service of kids. So when I navigate the district from north side to the south side, I'm very pleased to see the focus and intentionality around making sure that kids are learning. So that's number one. And number two, the level of parent engagement is very strong. I would like to see it a little more. But overall, I think my assessment of the district is that it's forward moving and the leaders, the principals are willing and supportive of my efforts. And of course, as I support them. So I think it's doing very well.
Thank you. My last question for you, just to ask you this, is that when you look at your district compared to other districts in the city, because I'm not sure all the superintendents you have these wonderful calls where you talk about things. What are you really proud of for our district? What are you proud of?
Listen, I'm proud of many things, but I want to single out two things. The effort around mathematics has really been improved in District 28. Math, as almost every school, there's an upward trend overall. So we have a big boost in our math literacy, math performance, proficiency. Literacy slipped a little, just 3 points, but I'm very grateful because at the advent of a new curriculum, the research shows that usually you slip a little before you move forward. But what I'm seeing is very cause for great joy and really seeing that we'll continue to go upwards. So I'm very, comparatively speaking to other districts, we're doing exceedingly well. So I'm very proud of that.
Thank you. There's no trick questions, you know. So I just love to be, but also too, I want you to know that we have authentic conversations where what I asked you here is what we hear for the first time. And thank you for being transparent and willing to have these conversations with us. Adriana, I saw you have your hand up, but the public speaking part is not now. So if you have a question, you could later on, we can give you a chance to ask that question. Adriana is our Queen's PEP member. On the PEP, so we'll definitely take a question later on. Just want to acknowledge really quickly, I saw Principal Patricia Hanley is here. Just say hi really quickly. I always love to acknowledge our principals. Who is here?
Hi, good evening, everyone. Happy fall. Can't believe it's already November. Happy to be here tonight. We voted to change our parent-teacher conferences till December, so that's how I'm able to be here this evening.
Just for us. I know you did it for us. I understand. Thank you. And can you just let us know which school you're the principal of? And the principals who are going to call on next, you can just let us know which school you're the principal of. It'll be great. I mean, can we make sure she can speak? Let me make sure, ask her to unmute. 1 second, I got you. Where you went? Where did you go? Can someone unmute? Oh, there she is. Okay, I got you.
Okay, there I go. I'm unmuted. BJ. I am the principal of PS54Q, the Hillside School. We are a K-5 school with approximately 465 students.
Wow, excellent. Thank you for being here. Thank you for always coming to the meeting. I want to acknowledge that I always see your face and we appreciate that. And we encourage more of our principals to always come. I know tonight is a teacher conference night, so they can't be here, but thank you for being here.
My
I also
pleasure.
saw Principal Robin Signal is here. You want to say hi really quickly, Principal Robin Signal?
I'm sorry if my camera's not working. Hello, everyone. I'm Principal Hasbury Signal from PS140. It's great to enjoy this time with you tonight. Yeah, we are an amazing magnet school in South Jamaica. We have approximately about 250 students, and we have a amazing gifted and talented program. So yeah, we always love to work with our principals, our community, our superintendent team to really expand our learning so it can trickle down to our families. So thank you guys for acknowledging us, and thank you for the work that you do with the CEC. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here and all the work that you do. We also have Principal Michelle Cespedes. You are here. You want to say hi really quickly, your school, and bring greetings.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm Principal Cespedes from PS312 Jamaica Children's Magnet School for Innovative Leadership and Civic Activism. We are also in South Jamaica. So happy to be here this evening. I'm multitasking. We are doing parent-teacher conferences, but I'm trying to listen in on my phone while I'm working on my laptop with my staff and families. Thank you so much and have a great night.
Any other principals in the room who I did not call? If you can just put your word principal before your name, or you can raise your hand. Dr. Blake, you see any other principals in the room? Anyone else?
I'm trying to scan to see if anybody.
All right.
If
there's any other principals, we want to hear you, please. So just raise your hand, let us know. Council members, if you see any of your principals, let us know. We can say hi to them. Of course, also we have Tamika Nurse Carter, who is our face liaison. Just want to say hi to her. Tamika, how are you? How are you doing? Let's say hi really quickly. Okay, maybe she stepped away a little bit. And of course, we have Dr. Hall, who is our Deputy Superintendent. I'm going to ask her to say a few words. Dr. Hall, please go for it.
Good evening, everyone. Excuse me. It's always great to be in every month CEC to engage with our wonderful D28 community, parents, families, educators, our CEC members. Thank you for dedicating time to be with us as a community today. One thing I just want to lift up is around our New York City Reads implementation this year. What we've been doing for the past, I want to say 3 weeks. The first 3 weeks of school were training sessions for our teaching and learning team at the district office, and the last 3 weeks have been going into our schools with an implementation walkthrough tool. And we've been visiting classrooms, trying to learn and understand what's happening in each and every ELA classroom so that we can norm our efforts as a district. So each and every classroom, ELA classroom, is using HMH materials, but what we're able to do with one uniform tool is go into every classroom and assess what the implementation status is across all of our buildings as a district. And that gives us meaningful information when we go back to determine how we will support each school with implementation. So we want you to know that we are keenly focused on what's happening in all of our ELA classrooms, and we look forward to reporting the outcome of that implementation walkthrough tool in future meetings. All right, looking forward to our meeting this evening.
Thank you, Dr. Hall, and thank you for your commitment to collaboration and transparency. We appreciate it. Of course, Sonia Rueda, our Family Leadership Coordinator from the district office. Sonia, you're next.
Good evening, everyone. It's always a pleasure to be here. Part of the work, or most of the work that I've been doing now, is really trying to get to as many PAPTAs that invite me, because they are autonomous, but that invite me for support. So that's a lot of the work that I'm doing, as well as Title I and SLT, is making sure that our parents are at the table, having the conversations, the very important conversations to form those partnerships. One thing, though, that I'm very mindful is that we cannot assume that because parents are not physically in the building does not mean they're not involved. And many times parents have many other things that they have to take care of. So I always tell other parent leaders and just community stakeholders to be very mindful and give them grace. I know that I was working sometimes 15 hours a day, and I was a very, very involved parent. So that's just, the conversation, supporting all of you and supporting our parents. So thank you so much for having me here this evening.
And thank you for all that you do, Sonia, and for doing that year after year, school year after year, parent after parent, and keeping the same passion and integrity in your work and long hours. Thank you so much for the work that you do. We are one district, for friends. We have different roles, but we are one district. Of course, because of your request, today we have the District 28 Office of Student Enrollment team here. They're amazing. They do a lot of behind the scenes work to get things moving. And we are so happy that they're here. Based on your request, you tell us who you want to come on our meetings, and we will make sure we get them here one way or the other at some point in time. So, of course, today we have with us here the amazing Assistant Director, Sarah Nikiri is here, and also the Client Service Manager for the Office of Student Enrollment, Julia Jones. They are here with us here tonight, and we're going to ask them to present at this time. Go for it. So you should.
Hi,
There you
yes,
are.
sorry. Good evening. I'm going to share. Mm. Mm. Do you see my screen?
Yes, we do.
Yes, Sarah.
Okay.
Okay, now it's working.
Okay, so Juliet and I are here, and we're going to just give you a brief description of what we do on a daily basis, where we are located, and our address is right here, and how you can contact us if you have any other questions. So go ahead, Juliet.
So we are the Office of Student Enrollment. We are called the Family Welcome Center. We are also located in the same building with the District 28 Superintendent team. We are on the first floor at 9027 Sutphin Boulevard. Sarah. So how we connect, how to connect with us. We have families that connects with us. We have schools that connects with us as well. We suggest families to email the inbox to set up an appointment, because we try our best to go by an appointment system because we have so many families to support, but we do take walk-ins as well. And the inbox is here. The Sutphin Family Welcome Center is what we advertise to families to email when they have any concerns or if they'd like to schedule an appointment. We do visit in person as well to set up an appointment. You can walk into our office. Again, we're located on the first floor, and our phone number as well. You can call us to set up an appointment, or you can call to discuss your concerns and set up an appointment, and maybe we can just help the family over the phone without them having to come into our appointment, coming into the office. We also do virtual appointments as well to assist families who cannot come into the office. We assist them virtually. And Chancellor's regulations is what we use to govern our decisions and to support our families. So when we're doing any types of transfers, admissions, we do use Chancellor's regulations to support our decisions. So we serve New York City families year-round with enrollment and decisions by appointment. And again, we do take families who just walk into our office as long as we have someone available to assist them. We support with transferring the child to another New York City public school, enrolling children into the New York City public schools, of course, K-12,
kindergarten to 12th grade. And we support families with My Schools when they're applying to the 3K, pre-K, kindergarten, middle and high school through the application process.
Thank you. So with all the other supports that Juliet mentioned earlier, we also provide different supports to families. New admits, those will be our newly arrived families to New York City schools. Readmits. Who is a readmit? A readmit is a student who was formerly with us, moved out of town or to private school, and now they're returning to us. We also deal with transfer requests, travel hardship, if travel is more than 75 minutes, or more than 3 modes of transportation, it's considered a travel hardship. Safety transfers, where if a child's safety is being compromised in the school or on the way to school, schools let us know and we'll also handle those requests. Guidance transfers, social or academic transfers, we forward to the superintendent of that district, because it's an academic transfer and the superintendency controls the academic part of it. So whatever the reason is, the superintendent reviews it and lets us know if it's okay to transfer that student. Childcare is for our K through 5 students. Parent works in some area, there's a school close by that will be more convenient for the parent. As long as we get the documents needed, we do consider that transfer request if there are seats available in the school that the parent is asking for. If there are no availabilities in that school, then we look for schools around the area to satisfy the parent's need. And sibling transfer has been extended to middle school. If a child is, if it's a K through 8 school, if it's a school close by, middle school, elementary school, we will consider those. Other supports that we provide by the Family Welcome Center, so, special education concerns come through us for students with disabilities. We consider those. However, we work very closely with the Committee of Special Education and the District 75 offices. We work with students in temporary housing. We work with students who are English language learners and they need program requests to schools that provide the exact services that they need. We also work with support, Juliet mentioned that, supporting families with My Schools creation for the application process, 3K, pre-K, elementary school, middle school, high school, 8th grade or 9th grade process, depending on if the school participates in the 10th grade application. It's important to note that the Family Welcome Center services families from all over the world. We have all types of forms posted online under the enrollment tab in the languages. We support all the languages, the New York City languages. We have all those forms there in different languages for students from grades 3K through kindergarten, through 12th grade, through any forms that you need in the language that is recognized by New York City. So about 9 or 11 languages. Everything is online. We provide it to the parents, or when they come to our offices, it's right here. When they have virtual appointments, we go with their language. We contact the translation and interpretation line to support the families. So we do use the language interpretation hotline to assist families who require support in their native language. So if you have families or friends who say they want to go to the Family Welcome Center but feel, oh, I don't understand English, so they won't understand me, please encourage them, because we will get on the phone with translation and interpretation and they will get the language support that they need. So that's not a barrier. There are other ways we assist families for our students who are for our students who are struggling in regular comprehensive schools, we encourage them to look at other alternatives. It could be young adult borough centers, it could be transfer high schools, it could be high school equivalency, whatever works best for them. after our consultation with them is where we encourage them. So we have families who come in and say they are adults, but they need, oh, I want to learn English. Where do I go? We have information for them. We have information for adult education for those who are over the age of 21. So we encourage families and friends to tell people, please come into the Family Welcome Center. You will get the information you need, no matter your age. Don't feel discouraged because you're older. We'll find information and give it to them. Sometimes make the phone call ahead of time because we're in very close partnership with the building, the adult education building on Hillside. We're very close partnership with them. We call them and they, guide us on the right way to go. Transfer schools, we have some in Manhattan, Brooklyn. We have a few in Queens. We use that for our students who are struggling but want to still continue down that path to get a high school diploma. Then we have the Bright Starts, which is for the young kids, the formerly known as Early Learn, for our children who are, we share an office actually with that Department of Early Childhood. So if they come in here, they also get information on how to request support for their little ones, for the 9 months, the babies in daycare, in centers. Our students in charter schools, we do not enroll students in charter schools, but we can encourage them and guide them on which way to go. We have a directory of charter schools. We tell them which way to go. If they return from charter schools, we also automatically enroll them in public school based on where they live or based on their request and seat availability. We assist families with information for summer school. Summer school is open to students who live within New York City. So they could be private school students or public school students. Yeah. If they have courses to make up for in the summer, we're an information hub, actually, where we'll be able to give them that information on where to go to summer school based on their address and seat availability. In a nutshell, that's what the Family Welcome Center is about. I hope that when any of you have a few minutes, you can visit us down here at the Family Welcome Center, Sefton. We're here Monday through Friday. We're open to the public Monday through Friday, Monday through Thursday, 8 to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, we're open till 3 p.m. to the public, 8 to 3 p.m. With service. Please let the families know. We service families in person or virtually. So because for some families, they can't take time off work. It's difficult to come back. We service them in person and virtually. Thank you very much. Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing and for being here, both of you, Sarah and to Juliet. Can you please tell us how you pronounce your last name, Sarah? I'm sorry I said it wrong before.
Nehikari.
Nehikari, beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for all the work that you do, and I'm sure can you stop sharing for a second, please? Thank you. There it is. And the council, the CEC, a lot of parents think our board is the ones who determine which school they get into or how we can facilitate accelerate or make injunctions to get their kids into schools and places that they want to get, especially when we have the new start of school year. So part of you being here was to really clear that up, also to let them know it is not your it's not our office, it's your office who's responsible for that, because we've been telling them, go to the welcome center. So it was great to see a face with a slogan, with a name, what it looks like, and you are friendly and welcoming, and we thank you for that. If you haven't done so already, can you please share your contact information, the email and numbers that you shared earlier on in the chat feature, please, so parents can just copy that quickly. And additionally, if you can share the slide that had the different ways of how you help families, like with transfers and academic transfer, that slide and your contact slide with us, we can share on our website also. So we can facilitate this process with our families to share knowledge of where they should go to get the help. And the office is is in our building here at Sutphin Boulevard on the 5th floor, you said, Juliet?
We're on the first
No,
floor.
first.
First floor?
Yeah, we're on the first floor. Yes.
First floor of
As soon
Sutphin
as you
right
walk
here.
in, you make a right
I'm
by
not
the
hearing you.
security desk.
Go ahead now, yeah.
I was saying, as soon as you walk into the building, you make a right by the security desk, and our office is on the first floor.
And can you just share really quickly to our families, like what has been the main, like the bulk of requests from your office, from our district, what you've been seeing lately? Anything that stands out a lot for you, confusion wise, in terms of parents looking for this or they can't find this? What has been the main like thing? Of course, there are many.
So we have a whole range, right? It's I can't pinpoint one thing. In the summer, we were at Thomas Edison. So moving forward, we're going to have we were at Thomas Edison during the summer. We have a lot of new admits, of course. Then we have parents who just want to transfer because they didn't like maybe the ninth graders, they didn't like their match, right? My child is young. I don't want my child to travel far. Believe it or not, parents put schools on the application without knowing where they're physically located.
Distance.
They like the name of the school. So when they find out that the school is in Manhattan or even the Bronx, we had a couple that, some names could sound alike. They're like, oh no, she can't go to the Bronx. She can't go to the Bronx, So travel, we get a lot of travel in the summer. And then now that school has settled down, we get a lot of safety issues. What is a safety? The child's safety is compromised. You're muted. The child's safety is compromised. They use the bus. There's a lot of issues by the bus stop. There are a lot of issues in the neighborhood that come back to school. And as we all know, we read the news, there are a lot of affiliations. And so we're very deliberate and intentional when we move kids around based on those issues.
Okay. Thank you so much, and thank you for the authentic conversation and for really being knowledgeable about what you do, and we thank you for your cooperation. We're gonna aim to really have your team come before the school year ends again, because a lot of families during the summertime, when they get these announcements, they're just so stressed. What do I do? Who do I go to? Where do I go? So we want to empower them with knowledge and sharing this, and also ask our principals to share this information across the board. Here's because the schools don't even have that authority to take kids in. They have to go back to you, the Welcome Center. So we want to make sure we echo that across the board. So thank you for both being here. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good
for having
evening.
us.
Just want to acknowledge Bruce Diehouse in our room tonight, is UFT District 28 representative. He'll say a few words later on. Before we call our next speaker, who is in here right now, we will like to ask Adriana Alicia, who is our PEP, our Panel for Education Policy Queen's Parent member, representative to represent us all. And when she's in the room, I always want to hear what's going on in the PEP, and she could bring any updates she want to share with us. Over to you, Adriana.
Thanks, BJ. Hi, everyone. Adriana Alicia, she, her. Yes, I am the Queen's CEC President Representative to the PEP. It's great. I have a few things that I'm going to share here, and then I'm going to put the rest of the things in the chat so that I don't eat up any additional time. So the next PEP meeting is at 6 p.m. on Wednesday, the 20th of November. This month's meeting is in Staten Island again. It's at the Michael J. Patrides High School in Staten Island. If you have the ability to come, please do so, even if it's just to see the campus of the school, because it is gorgeous. We were there a couple of months ago. But separate from that, please try to attend this meeting in person, and if you can, if it's possible, because one of the topics on the agenda are updates to Chancellor's Regulation A-820, which is often called CR A820 or just A820. These are all the different ways that you're going to hear about this, and it's the same piece of paper. If you're unable to attend, I'm going to put the panel's email address in the chat here. So the reason that this is a big deal is because CR A820 are essentially the rules that the DOE and the Chancellor makes for themselves to follow when it comes to keeping your child or your children's personally identifiable information, their PII, like this is information like their social security numbers and their student records. This is also your personally identifiable information as their parent and or guardian, right? It is their responsibility, the DOE's responsibility, to keep this information safe. And if you have been following tech news in the last few years in the NYCPS realm, then you will know that we've had a few data breaches and very sensitive personally identifiable information was breached. So again, if you're able to attend in person, please do. If not, please email the panel. I'll share the email address. I'm going to add some more resources in the chat as well, because we've had some super organized parents set up an action network template. So panel members have been receiving tons of emails, and they're all full of very valid concerns, but we need more of them. So it's going to take you less than a minute. And please, even if you're going to come in person, or even if you sent one, send another, because a digital paper trail cannot be ignored. Thank you. I'll also share my email addresses and where you can reach me in the chat. And I'll be here for the entirety of the meeting if anybody has any questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much for all you do, Adriana. Thank you for always attending our meetings and bringing updates. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. So my dear friends, I'll just move the meeting right along. We are so honored to have today with us the Chief of Safety and Prevention from the Office of Student and Youth Development, Mr. Mark Rampesant. And he took this office when he took the office a few years ago now, Mark, right? He hit the floor running and doing the work on the ground. And I want to just echo this across the whole platform. He has been one of those who has been very transparent and reachable to really come to our meetings and to share information. And we always go, directly to him when we have questions. So thank you, Mark, for all that you do. And we appreciate you being here and taking time out of your schedule to present to us. Over to you, Mark Rampesant, the Chief of Safety and Prevention.
Yes, hey, hello, hi everybody. Can't see everybody on the call, but appreciate the opportunity to share space with you this evening. As you can see, I am traveling throughout the city, just came from a hospital as a result of an incident that occurred off school property, but involving one of our youngsters. I understand that I am short of time today, so I would like to use my time to answer questions specifically around the issue of safety. I did see that in this invitation that I received from your office, thank you for that, there were a number of requests for a presentation. Obviously, 10 minutes is not going to allow me to present on all of the topics, so I thought I'd yield that time and just take specific questions around safety until till such time as my time is up. Does that make sense?
This time, okay, but maybe next time we will appreciate a presentation for sure. That's sure. So I guess, so what we'll do, Mark, is this. If there's anyone in the platform here who has a question specifically about safety for Mark at this time, just raise your hand. On topic, specifically for him, raise your hand at this time. Jessica, please come in front here. We have one person in person over here. She can unmute the camera there who's in person. Anyone else, you are able to unmute, or not unmute, raise your hand and we can ask him the questions directly.
Sure, so.
No, watch the camera.
No, I like to talk to you, but. It's a terrible, never mind.
He needs to hear you. He needs to hear you.
Yeah, yes.
But he can hear me now, right? My question really is about how crossing guards are assigned at schools and how we can get more crossing guards, especially at dangerous intersections. There are schools without crossing guards. There's crossing guards that need more help. There's issues with traffic signals, right? And how we can hurry up and speed up the process to create safety for to and from school.
So thank you for that question. And I appreciate the questions regarding crossing guards. There is a tremendous misnomer out there as it relates to the overall supervision, hiring, and distribution of crossing guards to schools. While they provide a direct service to New York City Public Schools, crossing guards are employees of the NYPD. and the NYPD does the hiring, deployment, as well, the training for crossing guards. They just provide a direct service to us. However, I do have someone in my office who is the liaison for the NYPD, and we constantly advocate on behalf of our schools. And we hear some of the very things that you hear as it relates to their respective shortfall, but that doesn't take away our ability to continue to fight and push on behalf of our schools, because as you know, crossing guards have a paramount position, and they are greatly needed, especially with the number of people who don't adhere to the current traffic safety laws. So some of the ways by which you can advocate for your own schools is through the local precincts, because crossing guards are deployed through that respective precinct in that particular district area. That's one way. Your local elected officials who also communicate directly with the NYPD on the issue of staffing for students who can't cross on their own. So those are the different ways by which you do. Just note that my office is constantly advocating for our schools to get additional crossing guards, to get three-way stop signs and speed bumps outside of schools. And we've been super successful in a number of areas. But the fight continues because the NYPD will continue to share with you their shortfall in the crossing guard position. Let me just preface by saying it is a job that we seek after because we need people in those respective positions, but it's not one that's attractive, and it's not one that people are knocking the door down to take. It is a very low paying job, and it's very difficult to find takers. The NYPD's advertising in schools through PTAs and all different ways, but it's very difficult for them to get takers. So those are some of the ways by which you can advocate for your respective school. I would say keep the pressure on your precincts, as they are the people responsible for overall deployment.
Thank you so much, Mark. That was one of the questions that we sent to you, and I saw Natalia. So these are the 4 questions we're going to take: Natalia's, Adriana's, Simone, and Atifa. So we can now no more questions on topic as timing wise. One of the questions we sent to you via email was the question about smoke shops and vaping stores located really on the corners of schools, and a lot of parents has really voiced their concerns and sadness to see that despite the public outcry, we have seen the pop-up of smoke shops down the block from schools. When a pizzeria closed down, a smoke shop comes up right up next to the block. So what has your office been doing or plan to do to negate this and to really put a step forward to really stop this?
So thank you. Great question. Again, my office works within lockstep of the sheriff's office. And as you may or may not know, it is the sheriff's responsibility to go after illegal smoke shops. And I have to tell you, they've been very successful in closing a large number of smoke shops throughout the city. But what is happening is it is a landlord issue, right? So the landlords are leasing the spaces to these people who don't have licenses to sell these items, especially in close proximity to schools. We have entered into an agreement with the sheriff's office where anytime there is a report of a young person frequenting any of those establishments, that we write directly to the NYPD, and they are working with the sheriff's department to close these facilities. If you've been watching the stories on the news, Sheriff Miranda has been super successful in not only closing a bunch of these establishments, but imposing tremendous penalties, not on the establishment alone, but on the landlords for renting these places to them. So it is really the sheriff's department that's doing the overall enforcement, and it is my office's responsibility to team up with them to educate them about where these sites are located, and provide them information where principals can give them direct information of how it's directly affecting their school establishments.
Fine.
So I would say another way by which you can do that is you guys can write directly to Sheriff Miranda.
And also too, I mean, is there a way how the CECs, can we start some kind of program where CECs can report to your office? I mean, for safety and prevention, right? Safety and prevention. And we can have meetings, or you and your office takes our reports and say, around in our district, there are 15 smoke shops within 1 block from any areas where they're located. Can you please work with the safety officer, Miranda, whoever it is, to have a plan to fix this? Can we do that going forward?
I got one better for you. I will bring Miranda to your next meeting if you make that offer for us. I will bring the actual sheriff.
Offer is made.
I'm sorry?
Offer is made. Yes, we'd love to have our next meeting.
There you go. The actual sheriff in New York City will be present for your meeting to present about the work that he's doing, the level of enforcement, and how you can help him in that enforcement.
Okay, thank you. Next, we're gonna go to Natalia. Natalia, I'll actually unmute. Go for it.
Hi, how are you today?
I'm good, thank you.
Very good. I have a question. I would like to know if, in terms of the school safety, can school safety walk around the perimeters of the building, or are they limited to just the school alone?
And so I'm going to give you the short answer, ma'am. Yes, they can walk the perimeter. They're expected to walk the perimeter. And when school safety agents tell you things like they can't cross the street or go down the block, that is not correct. What happens is they're protected by a union, just like our principals and just like our teachers. And they are bound by a respective jurisdiction. School safety agents are sworn peace officers with the power to arrest. If something is happening to our students or there is a concern across the street or down the block from the school, they have the jurisdiction to transition and address any untoward situations that may be affecting our students. But one of the things that we encourage is that principals and or designees are partnering with school safety as they walk down the block around the corner. As it relates to the respective perimeter of the school safety agent can walk that on their own. That is a part of their respective responsibility as safety and security enforcement in our schools. So yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Adriana Lissier.
Hi, Mark.
Hi,
Hi, everyone. I'm good. Quick question. What, if any, alternative staffing options have been explored? Because obviously, and to no fault of their own, the NYPD is not able to meet the demand of this. Again, it's not their fault. It is a thankless job. You got to be out there when it's freezing, when the kids are rude, when the drivers are terrible. But there needs to be an alternative. There's got to be an alternative.
Are we talking about alternative to the crossing guard or the safety agent?
Sorry, the crossing guard specifically.
Yeah, I can't speak to any alternatives that they have to that. I do know that where the NYPD has been super responsive when we've made requests to the tune of actually putting a sector car out in the busy areas, having an officer support that until such time as they can get crossing guards. But in terms of supplementing the crossing guard role, I haven't heard anything or any recommendations around that. But I'm sure that the city of New York would be open to any recommendations. And I think that, you know, we need to advertise out our houses of worship, you know, other locations. This is a position for a retiree, right? This is only a few hours a day in the morning and the afternoon. And they don't work in the summer unless they volunteer to. But again, like you said, a thankless job doesn't pay great. The people in the community love and respect them. They know kids by name, families by name, but it is not a job that is really high sought after. So I don't know any supplemental arrangements that are being made. And I agree with you. It is a job that needs to be filled 100%.
Thank you so much. Next question, second to last question is Simone Dornbach, as council member.
Thank you. Good evening. I have, maybe this is a dumb question, but what is the protocol if a parent has a concern about a threat in the school?
What is the proper
the protocol? Like, who should they contact?
Yep.
Can they contact your office, the district office? Like, who do they contact?
Okay, so here's what I need you to know, ma'am. Anytime there is a direct threat to a school, and I'm going to be specific in this one, so please forgive me. If a parent becomes aware of a shooting threat, the parent should notify the NYPD immediately. Immediately. Don't notify the principal, who will then follow additional steps. Notify the NYPD like most of our parents do, right? If a young person gets a shooting threat via social media and the parent becomes aware of it, many of our parents contact their local precinct, they call 911, and that starts to generate the attention to this respective threat. I have to tell you, more threats than ever before have the principal, the precincts, NYPD as a whole have now started to capture. We are in triple digit numbers. And last year, as compared to this year, the whole entire year, they were in triple digit numbers with either bomb threats or shooting threats. Now we're only 2.5 months into school, and we have triple digit numbers of shooting threats. These threats are happening in the bedrooms of these kids, right? And parents are surprised when they get the knock on the door from the police department because the child felt it funny to make a shooting threat. Well, let me tell you what this protocol looks like. The protocol is notification to the NYPD. NYPD sends that to counterterrorism and the intelligence division. They take that threat and they start to dial that threat back using the social media channels. They dial it back to a specific home address, to a specific young person, and they go and they knock on the door. All right? I've had the FBI do it a couple of times this year alone, and they actually arrested the young person for making a shooting threat, only to have young people say, I was just joking. I don't know what's funny about making a shooting threat, but it is being taken very, very seriously throughout this country. Unfortunately, this is an issue that we are not only dealing with here in New York City or New York State, it is happening all over the country. Young people are playing a game called swatting, where they are challenging each other to see who can make the most vicious threat to get the largest NYPD response, and they get the most likes. That is incredibly insane, right? But the protocol is notify the NYPD. Also notify your principal, because the principal is also going to take a number of steps. And those steps are contacting the 888 line that we provided her, 888 safe line that we provided her. That also generates the counterterrorism information to start to go. And then they're going to ask the principal for some specific information about the caller or the posting. And then they start to dial back, and then they'll make notification. They'll either come to the school the following day and wait at the door for the young person as they arrive and take the appropriate action, or they will go to the home, request a consensual home search, and they may arrest the young person in the home, right? And if there are guns in the house, then they're going to take the appropriate action. So those are the protocols, ma'am.
Thank you, Mark. Natifa Lewis, council member.
Hi, good evening, Mr. Rampersant.
Good evening.
So my question kind of crosses a little bit over to transportation. So it's been a pet peeve question of mine. I know it's that engage like the community boards and so forth, but how can your office also help, especially in a district like ours, to minimize the amount of active construction that happens during drop-off and pickup times? Because coupled with the shortage of crossing guards and so forth, there's a lot of busy throwaways in areas like Jamaica, like, Ruiz Boulevard or so forth. Kids are forced to be crossing in the middle of the street, lots of blind things. Parents who only care about their particular kid don't mind running over yours to make sure theirs gets to school on time so that they don't get attendance issues. So it's been something that has, we can no longer only say, okay, they're not going to stop working on the Vanwick. They're not stopping work on any street, any building in our areas. So it's transportation, but it's also safety. And then one other, just in case he wants to couple it, because this also leads sometimes to incidents. Can you also just speak briefly when you to the responses that schools give to schools? I know to incidents that happen, whether it is an incident that happens outside or inside the school. Some schools are pretty good at getting out the message within an hour, couple of hours. I know there's a template. I know they have to get permission from legal, etc. But, or well, whatever. But I do know that sometimes it takes very long, and the information does not alleviate parents, especially when there are things like citizens apps and so forth that gives you the, the ball by ball play instantaneously.
Yeah, so thank you. I'll take the in the exact order. What you just shared about the overall construction that is happening, that is a collective village responsibility, if you don't mind the term, right? Each and every one of us has an obligation to keep our kids safe. If in fact there is construction going on in close proximity to our school that is impeding on our young people's ability to transition safely, that's a community conversation. That is a multiple agency conversation. New York City Public Schools doesn't have a problem taking the lead on those conversations, but that is DOT, NYPD, New York City Public Schools, and construction. We would be more than happy to take the lead on a conversation if it's in close proximity and affecting our young people's ability to transition safely. So if there is a particular area that you would like us to weigh in on, please feel free to contact my office and I will start the ball rolling. We are never shy when it comes to a fight to protect our kids. So I will be more than happy to partner up with any agency to ensure our kids safely transition. And the second piece, the second question that you had regarding the responsibility of schools to make timely notification during times of incidents, let me make it perfectly clear to you. No principal in this school system requires a legal letter to send information regarding an unfortunate incident that has affected our school system. The expectation of our chancellor is that our principals are overly communicating. That means if something happens at a school, it is their obligation to make real-time notification to you regarding what that incident has happened at your school. Then once the NYPD comes and does their investigation or makes the appropriate necessary safety changes and arrangements, then the school makes the notification to the parents. Now, you're not going to get play-by-play specific information with names of kids and all of those things, but what you will get is a overview of what has transpired. For instance, if the school is in a shelter-in as a result of outside activity occurring close proximity to the school, then the principal's going to make notification via the GAMMA application. GAMMA, which is grades, attendance, messaging application. Every parent that is in ATS who has accurate information for their particular school will get a real-time notification blast by the principal. And if that is not happening at your school, please remind your principal that you are made aware of the use of GAMMA and you expect to hear real-time notifications around incidents that may affect their schools directly. Whether we're on a lockdown, shelter-in, evacuation, or even a hold, the school is required to make real-time notification to parents apprising you of the fact that there is a GRP, General Response Protocol, action at the school. They do not have to wait for legal to approve a letter to send out directly to parents who are signed up in ATS and in NICSA. You will get real-time notification from your principal. All right, so that misnomer about legal and a couple of hours, if you're waiting a couple of hours for information from your school, then something is truly wrong.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time, for being here, Mark. And Mark, I want to remind everyone, Mark Rampasant is from the Office of Student and Youth Development, and he's a Chief of Safety and Prevention. I want to thank you for being here and for spending time with us here. We would love to send you again the questions that we sent via email, and we could definitely allocate time, to have you in the room for the time that you think is needed for you to present. Because a lot of those questions were created from the public and from the council members as well. So we will definitely have a discussion about that. And in December, you'll have Miranda come and present to us. We'll definitely talk behind the scenes about making sure that he is here. Thank you for your time.
Absolutely.
Any closing words you want to say, sir?
No, I want to say that I want you all to understand and know that I take safety and security for this school system very, very seriously. Very seriously, to the point that in most nights I stay up and awake. I am in the process of conducting a 5-borough tour around the issue of safety and security in schools. And it's really about parents and resources that are available. I brought out stakeholders from various city agencies, including 3 of the 5 DA's offices. And on these particular dates, I'm bringing the DA from that respective borough to come out and talk to the parents about the resources that we have available to young people to keep them occupied so that they are not attracted by some of the negative things out there in the street. And I would appreciate it kindly if when you see these advertisements, you reach out and you bring a parent with you, bring young people with you. I mean, we are trying everything that we possibly can to get the community galvanized by doing their part to keep our young people safe as they transition to and from. And we have presentations like subway surfing and gang involvement and all of the different things that currently are attractive to our young people today. And if there are any other recommendations that you may have around things that you think are important, like the cyberbullying stuff, like the social media stuff, we'll be more than happy to offer those as presentations as well. But again, I take this role very seriously. I eat, drink, and I sleep this role of safety. And I am constantly advocating on behalf of our young people. And just because something doesn't fall under my direct jurisdiction doesn't mean that I'm not going to fight to make it come to fruition for your schools. So I appreciate your opportunity the opportunity to be before you this evening. And I look forward to another opportunity to spend more time with you, advising you about the different ways by which we are ensuring not only physical safety, but emotional safety for our young people as well. So everybody have a great evening, and I appreciate the opportunity.
1 second. I think we have Vic Narayan. I saw your hand was up. Did you have a question or comment, Vic?
Hi, yes, sorry. Hi, Mark. It's Vic from Superintendent's office. Just a quick follow-up. We are in the process of trying to get a safety issue at one of our schools. It involves a one-way street. Community Board 12 has been working with us as well as the QBP's office, but we are wondering if we can also get you involved. To at least,
100%.
yeah. All right. So yeah.
Why don't you give me a call tomorrow? Let's talk offline. I'll work with you. We'll reach out to DOT directly. We obviously have resources at DOT to get some real attention paid to this, right? This is obviously a community board and it's some of the other things, right? Because one-way streets, zoning, and all those things. But I will get you in front of the right people and we'll get the answers that we need, whether it's yes, no, or maybe. At least we'll get folks in the room that can tell you exactly why they're saying no or what will it take to get to yes.
Yeah, because it's been dragging out for a while. We'd like to get some responsiveness. All right, thanks so much.
Absolutely.
And we'll be
Thanks,
there
Pete.
at the ribbon cutting ceremony. Thank you so much, Mark. We have to move on. Vanessa, I know. Okay, really quick, Vanessa. No more questions to Mark. We last question, Vanessa. Go for it.
Thanks a lot, VJ. Thank you so much. So I just wanted him to put his info, Vanessa Sparks, Community Board 12 Education Committee. I would like his information because I would like to have him speak at our next public safety meeting, where you could speak to Community Board 12 that represents Jamaica, St. Albans, Hollis, and Addersley Park. And we have a very, very, very active community board and an extremely active public safety committee. So if his information can be just dropped in the chat. And regarding the one-way street, I don't know if this is what I'm thinking of, if it's the school that I'm thinking of, but the person that made the mention about the one-way street, if they can drop the name of the school in the chat.
We'll connect, Vanessa.
Thank
Vanessa,
you.
sorry.
I'm done.
We'll do the background connection behind the scenes. We have Mark's information and we have the person information who made the remark. So I'll connect with you. Send me an email offline on the others, and I'll connect all teams together. I just want to make sure we move along the program because we have other speakers who are waiting to speak, and I'm a little bit crazy on time. So thank you all so much. Mark, have a wonderful night, and thank you again for what you do. Mark for Chancellor. Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay, folks, we have an amazing presenter who is here next. You all first saw her at our breakfast we had, or legislative breakfast we had, her and an amazing team from the school that she last was there at that school. They prepared breakfast for all the people who was there, all like 500 of us. Today she's here in a different capacity, and she's here to talk about the amazing school in our community. And she is going to tell you about her role, who she's going to be, and it gives me great honor to introduce Principal Erica Hurtado. Go for it.
Thank you so much. Thank you for welcoming me this evening. President Ranjatan, it's an honor to be amongst your community one more time. Just for clarity, how much time do I have?
7 minutes.
You got it. Okay, everyone. So once again, my name is Erica Hurtado Valentino, and some of you may have known me from being the former principal of the Food and Finance High School, which is the top culinary school in New York State. And before that, I was also the principal of Bronx Aerospace High School, where we started a pre-engineering program in CTE, and I was there for 7 years. So I am a career principal. I love what I do. And so when this opportunity presented itself, I couldn't say no for many reasons. One is because I am a Queens native, and so I feel like it's finally coming back home. And this school is opening 2 blocks from where I used to live in my adult life for 10 years. And 3, I was also a pre-med student, and I know what it's like to be a student who was passionate about healthcare and wanted to be in a field where I could heal others, and not really knowing how to navigate such a pathway that can be very restricting, right, and intimidating to many. Thankfully, I am in the right place at the right time. And so I am here today to tell you a little bit about our school and the opportunities that it can bring to all of our students in the city, but also particularly our Queens residents. There is a video on Instagram. I'm not going to show it to you because I think the Wi-Fi for my car right now, because I just got kicked out of a middle school, it's probably not going to work so well. So I'm going to give you some information. So some things to know about our school. We're opening September 2025. It is a brand new building in Northern Boulevard, 54th Street. We are going to be co-located with Motion Picture High School and Gotham Tech. It is an ed-op program. It is an unscreened. However, I will tell you, I am very proud to say that a lot of our families that have been applying have been selecting us as their top choice. And as you know, the Department of Education, their goal is to make sure that as many as our families get matched with their top choices. And so I will say that if there is a child out there who really feels like NSHS is for them, don't be afraid to put us number 1 or number 2, because that is really going to work in your benefit in being accepted. And it is Queens priority. So we want to make sure that we give this opportunity to all of our Queens students. I know South Queens, you guys are so blessed to have so many schools with health programs. I know Dr. Van Ness has done a great job at really supporting these schools, but Queens North, we've seen an absence of that. And so I'm so happy to finally be able to bring this opportunity to the Queens North neighborhood. Why choose NSHS? We are going to be offering 4
You muted accident.
Can you hear me? I was muted the whole time, right?
No, this slide.
Okay, great. I'm going to skip here to the 4 pathways. We're going to be offering pre-nursing, medical assisting, behavioral and mental health, and healthcare management. 2 of these pathways, pre-nursing and medical assisting, they exist. There are existing programs in different schools. However, behavioral and mental health and healthcare management are unique to our school alone, and we are actually working with New York State, Northwell Health, and our post-secondary partners to develop a unique curriculum that once it's approved, it can actually be re-rolled out and be implemented in other schools as well. Each of these pathways is going to result in a career. So when we talk about graduating high school, we're not talking about working at a job. Our students will be able to launch their careers at 18 years old, or have that as a foundation to move on to college full-time. This is the journey of a student named Kayla, for example. Now, I didn't make this up. We know when we graduate high school, there's different paths that students can take. Some will go straight to college, God bless, because they have the resources and they're able to get in. Others are going to work, and others have to do the 2 of them. So for us, it's not about just finding a job, but like, again, launching your career. And the way we do that is by making sure that we created pathways where students are graduating with industry credentials to be able to actually be hired by Northwell Health. One of the advantages that our alumni will have is they get guaranteed interviews from Northwell Health for all students that complete and qualify for the program. That in itself already is groundbreaking to be able to have our students will have access to this vast network of professionals. When we talk about the college pathway, we are currently interviewing 10 different universities, of which we're going to pick 4. Each university is going to be matched to a pathway. Each university is going to be responsible for working with us and Northwell Health to make sure that the curriculum is aligned to college standards and industry credentials, and that they also offer 3 courses within their institution that result in college credits that are specific to the major. So many schools do offer early college credits. The way in which we differ is that those credits are usually English, social studies, humanities based, and there's nothing wrong with that. They're excellent grades, excellent courses to have access to. But what we're doing is we're creating courses that are specific to the major that students can get credit for when they go to college. So we are really making sure that this experience within the pathway is enriched and that there's an experience not just on the work end, but also on the post-secondary piece as well. The last thing I will share is that we have a rich after-school life. And so we have a sports medicine club, anatomy club, Northwell Explorers Club. It's really important for us that our students have access not just to each other, but they have access to engaging with one another in situations where they're exploring their passion, and that they're also meeting students from other cities, other boroughs, other states to be able to talk about the healthcare industry. The one thing that's also making us very unique about our school is that we are piloting a 1 to 2 year post-secondary support program. So many students, as you know, when they graduate high school, they're kind of left on their own. And many students are able to thrive, but many struggle, especially if you're a first generation. Our families don't know how to navigate the post-secondary world. And so this is our commitment as your principal, as the leader of the school, Northwell Health, Bloomberg Philanthropies, that we believe that we want to be a part of this journey until your goals are met. And so we are piloting a 1 to 2 year post-secondary advising program for our students and families who want the extra support. So at the time of graduation, it's not just goodbye. It might be for some, but for others, we're going to have those check-ins, a mentorship program. We're going to check in on your grades, help you really navigate that post-secondary world. I will say our 4-year curriculum is really grounded on this notion of exposure. And so what's important to us is that when our students graduate high school, they have already met their professors through this partnership with their colleges. They already know the people that are working at Northwell. They really understand the field that they're going into or will be using as to launch their future as PAs, as nurse practitioners, or as doctors, for example. And so for us, this is really a holistic approach that is not just based on rigor, but also support and this belief that all students can be successful. This is an example of the Bell schedule for that our students will have their first year. You will notice a few differences. The first one is that instead of Global 9, all of our 9th graders are going to take AP Human Geography. That includes students with IEPs or gen ed students. This is not just something that we're making up. I have piloted this at Food and Finance High School, and it was very successful. We had over 95% in scholarship, and about 70% of my cohort would go on to sign up to take more AP classes. And that is how you close the gap. And so really our school is grounded on the belief that access and opportunities are really what grounds success for our students. And so when you look at our schedule here, we make sure that there is time embedded in their day for them to be successful in STEM, in math and science, which are the core requirements for them to really have the academic baseline to be successful in these health career pathways. So they'll be taking a period and a half of math and a period and a half of science. And during their freshman year, I'll close with, what they're really doing is they're learning about these 4 careers. And together, alongside their teachers, their mentors, hospital staff from Northwell Health, and myself and our parents, we're going to explore them together. And as we approach the end of the freshman year around May, that is when students, based on their credentials, based on their passion, their performance, and their research, we will then choose what is going to be their major for the next 3 years. It's kind of like the Harry Potter sorting of the hat. And then they will then be very focused and centered for the last 3 years of high school. And so really at NSHS, we're just more than 4 years of high school. It's really a lifetime of care. Thank you so much for welcoming me this evening. And I would like to just put a date out there, a save the date. For December 3rd will be our in-person open house. TBD location. I will be sending out the invitations by this weekend. I really hope that you all can join us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Principal Erica Hurtado, and we are so excited that you are the principal who's leading this mission. You are no stranger to success and to great work. So we want to thank you for bringing your vision and your expertise to this new venture with Northwell. And I can only imagine what's going to do for Queens and for our families and the students here. So we look forward to more, but also the community. Lou Zhao going to be talking about this later on in his report more. We are also having a high school town hall coming up on November 12th, where you will be presenting, I think, as well on that night. I think so. If not, please do come. I think you are. But there are 3 schools in that same school day that's presenting that same night. But we are so excited about this. That's Queens is finally getting seats that we need, but amazing seats for schools right here. Thank you so much for all that you do. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, everyone. Good night.
Last but not least, friends, before we move on to our we have to the council has to vote on our bylaws, and it has to be done in our calendar meeting because we presented this last meeting for the public to see and to take feedback, and your feedback was taken. We received feedback from everyone, and it has been incorporated into our bylaws. That's what governs how we function, and we're gonna have the chair of the bylaws committee, Utah Chen. He's gonna present the bylaws, and then we're gonna do a quick vote on the council to adopt those bylaws or not. Now we'll keep talking. Also, but before we do so, I want to say a big shout out really quickly to Tanya Wendt and team for planning and executing an excellent middle school town hall this past Tuesday night. We had over 300 people there present at our meeting, which goes to show the need and the curiosity of our families, but also too that the CEC is doing an excellent job in providing and fulfilling the needs of our families. So I'm sure all 500 of families who were there and who looked on our YouTube feeds after, all 1,000 of you would have benefited from the 12 schools. 11 schools that came and presented at this amazing town hall. So don't miss, please mark your calendars on November 12th at 6:30 p.m. virtual in your house, right? We're meeting you there. You're going to be having a high school town hall, and we have a high school committee that's being chaired by Lou Zhao and team, and they're doing a great job with curating and assembling a lot of high schools across the city to come and showcase the schools. So mark your calendar, November 12th, where he'll talk more about this later on. So over to you, Utah Chen, who's going to present the bylaws for adoption or not.
Oh, all right. I forgot to unmute myself. Thank you for the introduction. I just dropped the link to our bylaw that we presented to the public as well as this council last calendar meeting, and we took some feedback, and we had a lot of discussion on this, and the part that were well received was the community norms and the code of conduct. I think that's really great for us to guide our.
Are you sharing the screen?
I believe I am.
No, you're not.
Oh. Okay. Oh. All right.
There you go. So we'll keep up with this.
All right. So if you prefer, you can also click on the link in the chat to see this document and jump to the section you are interested in, I guess. So the quick summary of the change since last time was we have some discussion on the remote options for the members. Since this meeting has mostly been hybrid since the pandemic, but for the council members, we are required by law to have at least 7 members in person to meet quorum. And with based on that, we had some flexibilities and then we had some workarounds to make life easier for all these members. So I think the biggest change was on the biggest discussion was on the meetings and well as the what to expect in the remote sessions. So here are basically the highlights we added that we're going to discuss and finalize this and vote on this document after the public comment. Yeah. So I think that's it from my side. And
Okay.
yeah, I'm gonna.
And I want to say thank you to Utah, and I think GK was the two, Utah, Chen and GK was, they're the co-chairs of the bylaws committee. They took a lot of feedback and time behind the scenes to really put this together. So you can stop sharing for now, because I think that has the markup version. And we're gonna be, I'll make a motion to adopt the bylaws that has been revised, shared. And I want to say this, that we have given enough time to all the council members from the last meeting, which was a month ago, to give feedback, provide feedback, and to send feedback to these two chairs to put in there. And thank you for accommodating any last minute changes and requests. And you all would have had a chance to also review it. So at this point, I make a motion to adopt CEC District 28's bylaws for 2024-2025. Anyone second that?
Second.
No, we're Tamika say here.
We have to put it in here. But one thing,
Yeah, so yeah, we're making a motion to adopt the bylaws at this point in time. So does anyone second that?
Second.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask our recording secretary, Natifa Lewis, to do a roll call to adopt the bylaws.
and
And they can make a comment.
I'm gonna start with First Vice President Quentin Messerton.
Yes. I approve all the revisions and look forward to adopting these bylaws.
Second Vice President Utah Chang.
Yes,
Recording Secretary Natifa Lewis. I do apologize. I have a comment. I had put in the chat, Utah, that I made the changes, and what I realized is that they Tanya pointed out she didn't see them. They were they actually ended up being on a local copy. I'm not sure what do you want me to share the copy? Because it's on my laptop.
You have the updated copy?
Yeah.
I think I made some changes with your comment, but I don't know.
So what I realized I did, I downloaded the document, so it's right here. That's the one from like an hour before the meeting. So it was just in
Yeah, this is your changes.
Do you want to share your changes?
yeah, that's what I do. Okay,
Then I have to make that. That's fine. It's the new bylaws, not the old bylaws.
it's mainly comments on what he has, so it's minor. Okay.
It's a new.
So
This version, this copy draft.
Yes. Share comment.
so the comments. So are you seeing my?
Yes, we are seeing it.
Okay.
Would you put the link in chat as well?
So that was the problem. I downloaded the.
That's fine. We have,
Right,
that's fine.
yeah,
She's presenting right now.
I'll
It's fine. It's public.
on there. So these are all the changes you had, and it was not until page 6 that I made an additional change. So that's on, this is page 6. Okay, so, in here, what was my comments? Oh my goodness. On the section 2, so I did indicate that I have some concerns with the inclusion of the maximum of 2 remote attendances. So my comment was I disagree with this amendment, as while it seems to provide equality, is not equitable and can introduce unintended negative consequences. The existing absence procedure sufficiently addresses the council's needs. So that was essentially on the section 2. And then on page 7, under determination of absences as excused. Wait, hold on a minute. What's going on here? Why am I still looking? Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking at.
Can I ask a question? Is this not ready for, because now that means, I'm sorry, that means, I was trying to avoid this, like we are doing this live and going back and forth on it, because now that means all the members can get a chance to review the last version. So I make a motion to postpone the vote to next meeting because we're not ready to vote on this final product. Anyone second that?
I second that.
Can you take a vote on that, please?
Okay. All right, so we can vote on that. First Vice President, Quentin Resident.
Just yes or no, please.
Yes.
Second Vice President, Utah Chen.
Yes.
Recording Secretary, Natifa Lewis, yes. Treasurer Tanya Wentz.
Yes.
Member Julissa.
Yes.
Member Luzal.
Yes.
Member Nurul Swapna.
Yes.
Member GK Kalyanaram.
Yes.
Member Peter Williams.
Yes.
Member Simone Dunbar.
Yes.
Member Lauren Clavin.
Yes.
And President Vijay Ramachandran.
Yes. Okay, motion, sorry, you did the thing.
Motion passed to table the approval of the amendments.
Okay, thank you so much. I really want to make sure we keep the timing going in terms of families, so school night too, right? So moving along, we want to hear the reports for each member. I'll ask you to please keep it at a minimal so we can move along to hear the public comments from our families that's here. So I'm going to go in reverse order today. Lauren Clavin, and your report. Sorry, you all, and you're also welcome to say I don't have a report this month if you don't have any, please. Don't just make something up if you don't have any, all of you. So Lauren Clavin, over to you.
I don't have a report this month. I will finally, after a lot of back and forth, get to visit my schools next week and the following week, and I look forward very much to that.
Thank you, Lauren. Simone Dornbach.
I had the pleasure to visit IS8, Yeka, and the Emerson School together with Latifa and Tanya. It's always a pleasure to be at the school campus. We discussed many important issues. We are working on it. Thank you to the principals for engaging us, and also thank you to our district office for always being available and always responding immediately. Let me check. Otherwise, I don't have much to report. I've been attending the SLT meetings of most of my schools. I have only one event that I can share, and that is a Speak Out Youth Summit. It's in person and online from the Civilian Complaint Review Board. It's Thursday, November 14th, 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. and I put the information into the chat. Thank you.
Thank you, Simone. And next we have Paquita Williams.
Good evening. I'm going to start from the school that I didn't visit. I'm on you. I'm on you. On you.
Okay, hi, good afternoon, good evening rather. Okay, I'm going to start with PS 196. I reached out again I'm just waiting to hear back from someone, and hopefully I'll be able to visit them next week. I have 3 days available. So I'm just awaiting an email. I visit PS 99. I met with Principal Nick, two assistant principals, and they're very nice, very nice. So basically, oh no, Judge Judy said she don't like basically. They, I'm sorry. So what's going on with them? They showed me around both buildings, beautiful. I'm gonna make it quick. They showed me an area that used to be a garage. You can't tell. Beautiful, beautiful. They have a new, a new gym area, a new lunchroom. It's really nice, really nice. They have an idea about knocking down a wall to an adjoining building, but that's just like in the talk right now. That's just in talk right now. But they would knock that wall down and create more space for in one of the schools. They're waiting to finalize the closing of the 6th grade, which is going to happen, which will open up additional space. So their main concern, they need funds for the small class, to create their small class. So it's in the works. Let me just say that, and I'm going to stop there. And also, I had visited PS 80, and there's an issue with the PTA, but I sent some emails out, so hopefully that'll be taken care of. And that is it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was great. That was amazing.
under 2 minutes?
Yeah, that was amazing. Thank you so much. There's no pressure. Thank you so much.
You know, I talk on.
Next we have
Thank you.
GK Kalyanaraman, Gurumurthy.
Hey, I got to attend the SLT meeting of PS 174. They're just doing well. There's a lot of construction happening. They're debating about the cell phone policy. Of course, they are rightfully very proud of their test results. They compare very well with the district and with the city in general. 144, as the president reported, they are finding it tough to get an AP Bio and Earth Sciences faculty. That's that. I'll be attending more of SLTs, 144 and MELS and 358 in the next couple of weeks. Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you, GK. And next we have Nuran Swapna.
Good evening, everyone. I don't have much report. I don't have report this month. I will be visiting my schools. I didn't get chance to visit my schools yet. I will be looking forward to visiting and emailing next month. I mean this month. Thank you.
Thank you, Nuran. Lu Zhao.
Hi, good evening. And the two things I just Vijay just mentioned, we're gonna have a high school admission town hall next week, the 12th of October. And I just quickly go through the school that will present. You get the idea what you're gonna get. I believe all of the schools are in the South Queens area. So our local school is very fairly easy to commute to, and a lot of very good schools. And we have Queens Metropolitan, we have Forest Hill, we have HBCU Early College. This is a new school and very interesting. You really like to know. And we have a BTech, which Business Technology Early College High School. We have York Early College Academy, which is 6 to 12. And we have Hillcrest, we have Queens College, and also 6 to 12. And we have Thomas Edison. We have Francis Lewis, Townsend Harris, and Gotham Tech. So there's a lot of school, very a good choice, at least a choice. And bring your friend, tell your friend, tell people who, 8th grade, 7th grade, even 6th grade. I can tell you because my son is already in high school. I went through this process. It's never too early to start to do research because the system is really complicated. So you want to know early, you want to know more. This is the one thing. Another thing is I visit one of my school, Jet 54. Principal Hanley was here, and she's always join our CC. Really get involved with parents and listen to us, concern everything. So the most impressive thing I was there is I go with Principal Hanley, go through the entire school, and every classroom we went into, there's kids are so relaxed that they just say hi to the principal, tell her, what's interesting happening today. It's just like this kind of atmosphere, it's not just happening, right? It take a long time, a lot of involvement from the principal, the school leadership, a lot of caring, loving, and give the kids such an environment they feel so comfortable, so relaxed, and so just like a family. So that's the most impressive thing to me. I mean, I was spirited after that. Another thing I want to mention is the school is in a very old building, so they talk to me, like what's the issue with the building, the heating system, the wiring. So basically, there are not a whole lot of outlets in each room, and even they have, they're not gonna take the power usage because it's such an old building, all the wiring are old, so they have to do, with very little, usage for electricity, right? So basically, they can't use a full size printer, for example, because it's going to take too much power. So it's really a big issue for them to do a lot of things, but they still do a great job, and they are the school taking in a lot of refugee kids, and I think there's two classroom for the ELL students. They take every day. They have a full, 2 full room ELL students. So a lot of wonderful thing was done there, and ask Principal Hanley, what's their next project they want, because we're gonna have the ICA project recommendation. So what she told me, I think it really resonates. She said, okay, so I have a lot of things I want to do, but I would rather have the one already put in order finished. There are quite a few projects have been there for years. They have done all those things. There's a room they show me that it's supposed to be a sensor room, right? A lab. They have choose all the furniture, choose all the equipment. They're just haven't done. It's put on hold. It's not going to move forward. We don't know what's the reason. That's the transparency part. Even the principal doesn't know why it cannot go through. There are probably reasons like funding, whatever. We want to know from that. So next time we invite SAA, we should bring up the question. So give us some timeline, like good reason that why those projects, easy to put a project in the pipeline, but you got to finish that, right? So those are, things. I'm going to visit 139 tomorrow and probably bring some back next meeting.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Lou. Can I ask you a favor, please? And if you could loop me in with Principal Hanley, I want to get an email from her about the projects, a list of projects, and like when were the dates applied, the number was given to the project, and then we can escalate this up the pipeline. We want to get results because a lot of schools have done this already, and we can learn the process. Whatever it is, let's figure the process out to get an answer back.
Yeah.
And we can use this as a template to figure out soon going forward. And we, of course, will include the district office as part of this process so we can learn together. Thank you. Next, and thank you to Julissa, and to who else is in your team that's doing the high school planning, GK, of course, GK as well. Great job. Great lineup. Great lineup. Can't wait. Next, Julie Suh, you next.
Well, I'm actually gonna say I did not do that much work. I was moral support.
Oh, you mean the high school?
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
I want the cotton drawn. I'm sorry.
but no, I didn't get to visit my schools either in the last month after that wonderful meeting with Principal Burns. I'm eager to get back to his school, and I haven't reached out to PS 303 recently. I take it they're busy. Saw my other school, Halsey, presenting on the middle school town hall, which Lou, it's gonna be tough to follow that one. Tanya, you did such a good job with that one. And I was personally just so touched by Principal Burns School, the video. It's very emotional. All the schools did a great job, but I just wanted to give a shout out to that one in particular. Yeah, I'll have more update next month. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Julie, and thank you again for the high school work that they're doing with the committee, GK. So next we have Tanya Wen, who is going to give her report.
That is correct. Hi, I'm Tanya Wendt. I am treasurer here, and the schools that I'm a liaison for are PS 220, MS 287, which is Emerson, and MS 332, which is Redwood, now hopefully becoming Lead X. I actually visited all the schools this month. But for 220, I visited, it's just for SLT for 220. And I talked about it in the last meeting. So, okay, it was good, but maybe it wasn't like a full on visit. I missed their PA meeting this month and their SLT meeting this month because it was conflicting with FACE and DLT, and it's going to conflict with was conflicting with class size law. So our class size law meeting. So hopefully in the next coming months I can get back to visiting them for other things. In terms of Emerson, Simone already mentioned that Natifa and Simone and I all visited the campus earlier or last month, I should say. And the traffic congestion was discussed earlier. So thank you very much to Vic Noreen for bringing it up in front of Mr. Rampersant. So hopefully, and Vanessa Sparks, of course, is always on the call. So I'm glad that it kind of is getting more attention. So hopefully that can get resolved. The other things, we talked a little bit about Reso A projects and just how Emerson does have a new technology lab with desktop computers, but their funding didn't include kind of tables. Sometimes you see these tables that have security where they can lock the keyboards and the mice and the cords so that the things don't walk out of the room, right? So they are kind of in need of that. It's not a very attractive, maybe like Reso A to have tables or special locks, but it's something that they might be interested in. I think it was mentioned that NYC District 27 Councilmember Natasha Williams is going to be visiting their campus on the 12th, so in a little while. So hopefully she'll visit and kind of see the lab for herself and check out the campus for herself. We also talked a little bit about class size law and the challenges that this particular campus faces. As we heard in our class size law call, I think it was Raj who said, hey, we're not turning kids away. And that was echoed here, that when enrollment sends them kids, they're going to take on the kids. They're not going to turn them away. And so it's really hard to meet the new size law mandates when they can't cap the classes until they actually hit the current numbers, which is 20, right? You can't cap them below that. So the kids are coming, they're going to take them. So it's a little bit hard to hit those numbers. There was also discussion about how Emerson kind of takes on kids from other schools when they're over capacity. It was mentioned that 217 and even 157, when they hit their capacity, they have to send the kids elsewhere. And sometimes they end up at Emerson. And then also it kind of is a trickle effect, because when Emerson gets too full, then some of those kids are then the overflow for MS 72, which is Redwood or Lead X. So it kind of is a domino effect sometimes. So it can be a bit of a challenge. All right, I also visited Lead X with Simone, because she is the liaison for the Count Basie School. And we met with Principal Katan Brown when we were there. This has been echoed before, but the school's still working on bolstering parent and family engagement. The community really cares deeply about the scholars' education and well-being, but the parents and family are just really busy. So devoting extra time to school can be a bit of a challenge, as it's not an uncommon problem, in our middle schools and in some of our communities. You want to be involved, it's just hard to get there. Like I mentioned, the school's name has always been Redwood, or been Redwood from forever. They're formally working on changing the name to the Magnet School of Leadership and Exploration. As many of you know, they had a Magnet grant now a couple years ago, but they want to actually formally change the name. So we're going to try to work through that process to get that done. It was mentioned when we asked about the building as a whole. The building also shares the building's also shared with a District 75 school. So it was brought up that the building is in decent shape, but the bandwidth for the Wi-Fi in the building could use an upgrade, especially when it comes to state testing. Having all of the schools on computers and ensuring that the internet's working quickly so that the scholars can log on and stay connected, especially during testing, it's really important. So we're going to try to look into that. And the other thing we touched upon there was also class size law, just to ask about it. And so, because every school is different, so they don't have space, but we kind of asked, do you have any suggestions? What are we thinking potentially? And they brought up a potential open space not terribly far from the school. So we're trying to figure out if that could be a potential spot for new development. Again, because every school is going to have to solve this problem in a different way. And I think that's all I had. We had a great middle school admissions hall. Thank you so much, everybody, for attending. All of the principals, assistant principals, parent coordinators. It was really great. We had a good turnout. So thank you very much. I'm still going to drop in the chat the school enrollment link, because it's still open. It's not done yet, right? And there are still some open houses that you can attend. So I will still put that in the chat. And hopefully you guys will come on the 12th to the high school admissions enrollment fair.
Thank you so much, Tanya. And can we post the recording on our website? A link to the recording for that meeting, for that town hall that we had, a link to that recording.
I'm so sorry. Yes, I think we should be able to. Yeah, for sure. Right. Hopefully.
We'll figure it out from behind the scenes. We figure it out.
The other one thing I did want to mention, and I know that it was discussed by Dr. Blake earlier, but I'm going to also put in the chat the press release that came out regarding, the additional funding that's becoming available. Like, we want you guys to be aware of it. There's a new framework out right now where principals who would like to opt in and have the space and might have the plans to start working with their SLTs and put an application in by December 20th. Right? It's soon. And if you're having to meet with your SLT, that means you're doing it in November or December to get it in and get it in on time. Not every school is going to opt in, but I'm going to put the link to the press release in the chat as well. And come to we're going to have another meeting in December. So be on the lookout for another flyer, hopefully, for our class size law subcommittee.
Thank you so much, Tanya.
Yep.
And next we have recording Press Secretary Latifa Lewis. Latifa Lewis.
Hi, good evening. Since Simone and Tanya already went, no. So as mentioned, we did visit our campuses together. So I the liaison for IS8, New Prep, and we, as they emphasize, class size came up, etc. One of the things that they also have been asking about, they've gotten some responses from the borough presidents, and thank you especially to all the work on that part for some of the projects. However, no word on like the capital funding. So that's a common thread across not just New Prep, 312 and other schools as well. I am hoping to connect with those with PS48 and 40 this month. But again, most of these, except for 48, are on shared campuses, and especially things such as the either HVAC system or air conditioners or telephones. They're all issues that have been raised related to both the safety of the scholars on the campuses, and they're really hoping that we get some sort of feedback, because we're about to start a new cycle of capital funding, and principals are a little bit confused as to, do we relist the projects because we didn't hear anything? What else do we do? So that's a common thread across across my campuses. Through 12 in particular, the phone situation is becoming more urgent. They're forced to use a few cell phones. The services sometimes are not that great within the building. And they don't have an elevator, they don't have a lot of things. So it's a lot of extra exercise, which is good, but not always, not always feasible, especially when you have, they do have a high number of students with disabilities or any other things. So those are some concerns in there. As I said, I do intend to connect with 48 and 40 this month. So I'm gonna keep my report short right there.
Thank you, Natifa Lewis. And next we have first Vice President Quentin Mezzatine.
Thank you, VJ. President. I'm the liaison of 161, 175, 206, and 680. 680 is a secondary school under Dr. Van Ness, and the rest are under Dr. Blake. So that makes my job fun. And we had some fun. I've been to the middle school PTA meeting, which was very interesting at Queens Gateway. I haven't visited the other schools as yet. I guess I'll just waiting for it to get colder, so it could just be more convenient. And I look forward to those schools. They're phenomenal. And outside of that, I have been to 811Q, D75 school in our district, and they just started Saturday school. So if you have any children in D75 and you want your child to go to school for 6 days, like I sent my son, Saturday school is open and it was phenomenal. He had a lot of fun and they did a lot of learning exercises and things that it was just very, very productive. And I could see the progress, and I don't think there's a waiting list anymore, but it's like, if you could get in, get it. I also just want to put our website, we have attached a D75 811Q section. So for all the families, thank you. So we updated with all the resources and all the flyers and all the events that are on D75 side. They have their own town hall meeting, they have their own PTA meetings, and they do a lot of other meetings that are specifically for D75 parents that you just don't get it here. And there's nothing wrong with that, but that's why it's over there. So I would just say I would encourage everyone to go to that part of the website and click on the website for 811Q and just reach out to them to see what other services they have, and we will just keep updating it. And also, as class size committee chair, we had phenomenal meetings, and we had over 50 members, just attendees of the meeting that wanted to be part of the committee, which was phenomenal. It was really good to see that type of support from the community. And we had special guests from the district just enlightening us, empowering us with information. And just like Tanya put in there, we've gotten even more information on how this class size is going to be implemented. So we look forward to having our next meeting in December, which we're going to bring more people to the table. Enrollment, again, high enrollment, but enrollment will be there just answering questions about how this is gonna impact our, moving forward with the class size, but also district planning and SCA, who also have a lot to say about how this will be implemented going forward. And we look forward to now stepping into the next year with our new committee members that are joining us, because we're still going through that process. So we could all see how we're gonna come together to now see what, like, we have jobs for you guys to do. So it's like, we're looking forward to share that with you. Check your emails. If you signed up, we will be following up with you, and then we're going to see how we're going to work together. Other than that, I'm just looking forward to the progression of our district. Let's get it.
Thank you, Quentin. Of course, we have our second Vice President, Utah Chen. He's next.
All right, good evening, everyone. So the first thing obviously was the bylaw work. We did, so it becomes, we thought it was going to be a 2-part meeting, but it's going to be, we're going to have episode 3, obviously. So, but I do like to take this opportunity to thank everyone for giving the feedback and giving us joining the discussion, etc. It's really helpful. And regarding the class size law, regarding the schools, I yet to reach out to more schools that I'm the liaison with. So I'm going to hopefully finishing up in this month or hopefully sooner than later. Another thing was last time actually I forgot to include in my report was regarding class size law. All credits go to PS 101 Principal Piniaga. She basically mentioned that in a lot of the good schools, academically, they don't have the enough space, but it's possible that they include a second teacher in the same classroom to follow the ICT model to basically improve the student learning experience and reduce the teacher and student ratio. Yeah, improve that. So I think that's definitely something we should discuss in the context of our class size law. Another thing that was kind of mentioned in the parent community was like thanks to DOE and the MTA collaboration, the students have their new Metro card. That's a good news. We thank a lot of people for that. The bad news is these cards are very flimsy. They're not regular NFC cards that you can buy from the vending machine. So it's very easy to damage them. So it's recommended that a lot of the parents have ideas. They recommend you buy like a plastic card holder sleeve. It still works through the sleeve, and hopefully that reduces a lot of headache for your little ones if they happen to be using the Metro card. Yeah, I guess that's pretty much it from my report. Yeah, I'm looking forward to
Thank you for all you do, Tao. And my report will be quick. I had the opportunity to interview parent coordinators with Principal Signal and her team at PS of 140. I really like the new regulations where CEC members who are liaisons to the schools directly have a say and an input in the interview and the hiring process of the parent coordinators for schools, and many of you have embraced that and have done a great job. I've heard great feedback, and they continue to understand and know that we need to be there. So please, if you ever have a call for that and you can't make that, last month I did one with Julie's school, went really well too. 217 went really well. We are happy to do that and continue to be partners with our principals and our district in accommodating the interviews, and we want to be available. So if you council members can make an interview because for your schedule, we have 11 of us. One of us could attend in your absence, so we can really have this process going to make sure it happens. Thank you all for your reports. Now we're going to have the public comment section. Each of you will have 2 minutes to speak. And when I call your name, I'll ask you to please unmute. If you're not here anymore, that's okay. We'll just move along. So the first person is Vanessa Sparks. I want to ask you to unmute, please, followed by Ari Innes, followed by Bruce Zihal, Adriana Lissier, and Venus Ketchum.
Good evening, CEC28. This is Vanessa Sparks, Community Board 12 Education Committee member. I bring greetings on behalf of our Education Chairperson, Latoya LeGrand, and Community Board Chair, the Reverend Carlene Thorpe. I want to just say happy November to you. I'm glad, I was so glad the earlier portion was really, really good. Thank you so much, President BJ. I do want to say three things really quickly. First, there were a couple of principals that were on earlier who are principals of schools in CB12. We do not hear from the principals that are in Community Board 12. Community Board 12 has an extremely active education committee, as well as our overall community board is extremely active. And we do not want to just hear from principals when something happens or when they need us. We want to hear from principals to establish relationships. There are many things that the community boards have oversight on, particularly in the area of safety around the perimeters of the school, new school construction, as it is the community boards that have a lot of influence in saying whether a school is going to be put in a particular area. So we want to hear from our principals. Secondly, and I'm going to just say this on behalf of myself, I don't know if the schools in D28 have deployed mental health counselors in the schools. I'm a board chairperson for the South Jamaica Center for Children and Parents. We have 2 sites, both of them located in District 28, both of them with extremely large Bengali and Spanish-speaking populations. And we have gotten word since the election that many families are terrified, and their students, their children are terrified. So if you have not done so, a conversation to just ask that the mental well-being of the students and the families be looked at after in light of, our recent election, as many children and their parents are experiencing many of them are very, very terrified. So that's all I want to say. Happy Thanksgiving. I would love to see this CEC show up at a Community Board 12 meetings. We have extremely active meetings. For those individuals that are looking to do things like put speed bumps and school crossing guards, if you're in Community Board 12, come to our meetings. Thank you.
Thanks, Vanessa. We all talked about that. Can you please put a link to the meeting for the next meeting on the chat, please? We'll appreciate that. If you could put a link to your website or to the next meeting, the Zoom link that you all send out, that'd be great. Thank you so much, Vanessa, for always being here. Sonia, you want to respond?
Yeah, I just wanted to say to Vanessa, our district has been very well aware and proactive in terms of responding to families, making sure that, everyone feels safe and comfortable, our parent coordinators. And so we're definitely having ongoing conversations so that, again, to address any of these issues, but that moving forward, families feel comfortable and anyone can always reach out to me. Thank you.
Thank you, Sonia. Of course, next we have Ari Ines from the office of New York Senator Leroy Comrie.
Hello, thank you, everyone. On behalf of the Senator, I'd like to say thank you for always inviting us to CEC28. We will always look forward to these meetings. I know I especially do. The Senator sends his greetings, and thank you everyone who went out to vote this past election day. Of course, voting is very important and we all should participate in that civic duty. I just wanted to make a few announcements. I'm not in a space where I can really see a screen or anything, but I know early I dropped some flyers into the chat. We're having a e-waste shredding this Saturday from 10 to 2 p.m. in front of the office at 11343 Farmers Boulevard. There is also the Oath Resource event on November, I believe it was 30th. There are 2 other flyers for upcoming events as well. November 19th, we're having a utility assistance event with Paul Hartshare and I believe Con Edison. And I don't remember what the last flyer is, but please do take a look. I dropped them in around maybe 6:40, 6:50 something. So if you go back in the chat, you can see them and please share them with your community. If you have any questions, as usual, please call our office at 718-765-6359, and we'd be happy to answer any questions you have and help with any issues that may occur. Thank you.
Thank you, Ari, and please give greetings to the Senator for me. I saw him at a Sukkot event recently, and he was delightful. He knows who we are. He's excited to always be in partnership with us, and let him know he's always welcome to bring greetings and to be at our meeting. And you also, thank you for always being in partnership with us. Thank you. Of course, next we have the amazing Bruce Zihal, who is a UFT District 28 rep. Bruce, over to you.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, CEC members and the District 28 community. So as Tanya had mentioned, and also Dr. Blake, there has been a major breakthrough with regard to reducing class size according to the class size law limits. And the UFT, CSA, and New York City Public Schools came to an agreement that there will be a process which Tanya mentioned involves principals of schools collaborating and consulting with school leadership teams to determine how class size can be reduced within their schools for the 2025-2026 school year. In particular, this is focusing on the schools determining if they have additional space to reduce class size, and then apply for funding to hire teachers and possibly classroom furniture to fill that space if there isn't furniture in that particular space. So this is huge. We do have schools in our district that do have available space. And this is not about necessarily having the whole school meet the class size law limits. It's about the schools trying to meet it as best as they can at this point with the available space that they have. So some schools, it might be they only reduce class size in one class or two classes or a grade or two grades. Whereas in our district, we do have one school which actually could meet the class size law limits 100% throughout the school. So it can, there's a whole array of how much this can be addressed. So we're really looking forward to that. That's going to be a big plus for our district. It's really going to help out our students in our district and raise achievement. So it's very exciting. And everyone have a happy Thanksgiving.
Well, that music, yeah, we will. You heard the music just now? That marching band music. That's 10 years Thanksgiving music she's gonna have this year. You should have a turkey gobble gobble like music in the background for each month we're gonna have. Anyone knows what month this is? Like, this is
Vamos.
not Vamos, no. What this month is Hispanic Heritage Month. We want to welcome and congratulate everyone for Hispanic Heritage Month and wish you a happy Hispanic Heritage Month, and also observe and acknowledge the contributions of all groups, and of this month highlighting that of the Hispanic community. Next, we have Adriana Alicia. Was this an accident? Okay, good. So next we have, not good, but I mean, Venus is next. Venus, hold on, VN. I wasn't sure about time. Venus Ketchum, you're next. I'm asking for Venus Ketchum one more time, going once, going twice. I'm asking her to unmute. Okay, that's fine. She was active on the chat, I know that. So folks, I was just reminded also that this month is also, well, now it's actually Filipino month as well. So we want to acknowledge all the diverse groups in our district, and District 28 right here, we have everyone in our district here. And it's one of our strengths, actually, the diversity that we have in our district here. And I mean, different months that happens and all that we celebrate. If I miss anybody, I apologize, but we want to thank you. On a serious note, thank you all for your comments. Subway surfing is not safe. Please, parents, please, families. I didn't want to start the meeting off on that note only because I just wanted us to get through this because it's on my mind. Subway surfing, I want to let's ask us all if it's okay with the council to take a 30-second pause of silence. We had 2 children died of starvation in New York City. And as a parent myself, when this happens, I don't know what to say. And I take responsibility, even if I don't know the family, because it's our home, it's our city, our backyard. And a 4-year-old and 2-month-old baby recently now passed due to starvation. And then we had 2 children who died subway surfing. We have to do all we can, and I can bring all the resources here. We could get all the people to speak about it, but we have to be the eyes and ears and also really channel that. So if it's okay with everyone, we can just take a 15 seconds, a pause from whatever you're doing. You can find the reaction button and send a little heart, and I appreciate that to the families and to the children. Starts now. Thank you all so much for joining me in that. I would like to challenge or to delegate to one of our team members here to source a presenter for January on how to recognize signs of, we had ACS before, not ACS. Another group who provides services or counseling, something for the less punitive in my opinion, where we can mitigate the company, but that's not talking about now. Please think about ideas, and we can present a resource to our community to how to talk to kids about subway surfing, safety, life, whatever it is. Please think. Let's come back till January. Have the whole Thanksgiving to think about it. With that being said, everyone, thank you so much for being here. And at this time, this 8:51, we will adjourn this a calendar meeting for November 2024. Thank you. So when you have an idea, we can always discuss that too. So we can all unmute if you'd like to unmute now. Council members, it's 8:52. We are starting our meeting promptly at 8:57. We can all unmute if you guys want to do, anyone in the public want to unmute at this time. You can unmute.
Have a good night, everyone.
Say goodbye, good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good
Good
night,
night.
good night. Happy
Have a good
Thanksgiving,
night.
double.
Good
Good night,
night.
good night.
Night.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Happy
Thank
Thanksgiving.
you, you too.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Oh, we had V Bird. We had a Coordinator Bird. He's here. Yay.
Do you still need interpretation to stay on?
Yeah, yes, for a little bit. And once we start, I'll let you know when we click over.
Okay, thank you.
Did you have anyone? Can we pause that for a second? Did we have anyone I just forgot to ask you guys. Sorry. Did you have any questions in the other room?
No, I asked, but there was no questions.
Oh, sorry, guys. Excuse me, folks. Sorry. Paquita, sorry. I'm sorry. What you said?
We asked, there was no questions on the Spanish line.
You had none. Okay. Did you have any attendees?
That I'm not able to attain.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so the time now is 8:53. Let me just start the meeting. And I will ask, I don't think I have any council members who need translation, do we? No, right? So we can dismiss you all at this point in time. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You guys have a good meeting.
Thank you, Alex, and thank you, Bianca.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Okay, the time now is 8:59 p.m. and I want to thank all of you for joining us again. This is the CEC District 28 business meeting. Can you please, is the recording still on? Excellent. So at this point in time, my dear friends, all those who are still joining us to listen in, this is where the council discusses its council business, and the public is welcome to attend, to watch us and listen to us discuss the community's business as our business, and as we make decisions, and of course deliberate. But you're not allowed to make comments or give gestures on the chat or the reaction page. So I'm gonna ask our administrator to please disable the chat and to disable the reaction part, please. The time now is 9 p.m. and this business meeting for November 2024 is called into order. I'll ask the recording secretary to please do a roll call.
President Vijay Ramjatan.
I'm here.
First Vice President Quentin Messeton.
Here.
Second Vice President Utah Chen.
Here.
Recording Secretary Natiba Lewis. I'm here. Treasurer Tanya Wentz.
Here.
Member Julie Stubb.
Here.
Member Luzao.
Here.
Member Nurun Swapna.
Here.
Member G.K. Kalyanara.
Yes.
Member Peter Williams.
Here.
Member Simon Dombach.
Yeah.
Member Lauren Clavin. Ms. Lauren.
Is she gonna become like a co-host or something? Lauren? Yeah, I see her here. I vouch that she's here. I think I can. Okay. Everyone second, third, fourth, fifth. She's here. Okay. All right. We're gonna move along. Lauren, when you come back, please say hi. Okay. Minutes. Can we please share the minutes really quickly, please? This minutes has been shared. You had enough ample time to review the minutes, everyone. So once shared, let's go through to the screen so it's captured on the recording. Thank you for the preparation of these minutes, recording secretary, administrative assistant Dorinda, and approved and looked over by the concept of Tifa. So I make a motion to adopt these minutes.
Second.
Thank you. Moving along. We did the bylaws already, so we're not gonna discuss that. Please come next month. Once again, we are not taking any feedback from anyone past we had time. So I think this is just now to tighten up what was sent. It's not fit to the chair, I'm sorry. But they had dedicated times to do this, and we can't keep adding and adding. It's not fair to them. So at this point, and we all had a chance to submit stuff. So now it's only this week here. Just tighten it up with the revisions, and it's one final version of, and then we have that to present next month. Everyone okay with that? Yeah, I believe Natifa has the most last updated version. I believe you have the most of last. Do you mind? Yes. So may you, sorry guys.
Emailed it to everyone.
Thank you. So that last version, you emailed it? So GK and Utah, can you please confirm you have that? Is that it right now?
Did, but I think I pretty much have most of the changes you mentioned, and so.
That's fine. We'll figure it out. You have this whole week to do that, right?
Comments that I allowed you to pull or whatever thing. you did.
Just for the future and for, because I'm not gonna be president for forever. One of you will be. I want to say that this was disappointing because we did spend enough time and we did have deadlines. And ideally, as a council, we want to have two showing of this. First of all, it's late in the year to come in, right? So we should have it done on earlier on, and then to delay just because minor edits we didn't make, it's like it's an oversight. The whole month we gotta meet again. I mean, ideally we could call a special meeting, but we're all busy, and then we said no. So I'm just saying for future, my advice and my call would be for all of you who will run in the future for president and other roles to enforce that this gets done in a timely manner. And really, I think I sent GK and Utah like 20,000 emails. Is it ready? Is it ready? Is it ready? I did, right? Because I really wanted to vote on this tonight and adopt it today. But that's my little spiel. But again, thank you all for it. And I'm happy that we are debating it and we are discussing it because it means that you're passionate about this document and we all are putting together what we have to abide by in this document. So thank you for your work. Sorry. Next, we're going to talk about the budget. Tanya, over to you.
Sure, I'm gonna share my screen.
Sorry, I'm gonna unmute and then share my screen. Okay. Let me know if you guys can see it.
There it is, yeah.
Okay, thank you. All right, so, to recap, the beginning of the year, we began with a budget of $25,000 and the, member, expected reimbursements are 18,650. People probably can't see it there, but that's good. And then based on individuals who have, indicated they will not be taking, their reimbursement either for a specific month or for the whole year. I've indicated that here. That leaves us with $4,000 of reimbursements that will not be taken so that we can reallocate them. We spoke briefly at the last meeting about, again, here's, if you look at this, if you focus here on this part, we started out with 25, right? There is $4,000 to reallocate. It comes out of the member reimbursements line. And we discussed briefly last time that we could put a portion, $300 towards procurement card and another $300 towards graduation certificates, leaving the rest, which is $3,400 for end of year celebration, right? So I would like to make a motion to adopt these changes in the budget. Does anyone?
Second.
Okay.
Can we go a roll call, please? Report Secretary.
First Vice President Quentin Mezzatton,
Yes.
Second Vice President Utah Chang,
Yes.
Recording Secretary Nasiba Lewis, yes. Treasurer Tanya Went,
Yes.
Member Julissa,
Yes.
Member Luzal,
Yes.
Member Nirun Swapna,
Yes.
Member GK Kalyanaram,
Yes.
Member Pakita Williams,
Yes.
Member Simone Dombach,
Yes.
Member Lauren Clavin,
Yes.
President Vijay Ramjattan.
Yes.
Thank you. You want to say adopted? Garlic nuts, girl. It's good. Okay. How do you say Zapolis? Is it Zapolis or Zipol? You all know that thing? I saw garlic nuts. And one of my first jobs ever was in a pizzeria making garlic nuts. Is it, and you know, Zeppoli? Is it Zeppoli? It's a flour dough ball with the sugar and
Those are
stuff.
good. Those are good.
Yeah, next time we get that next, I'm joking. It's good stuff. All pizza stuff. Yeah, thank you, Dorinda, for taking care of us. So thank you, Tanya, for doing the budget and for really doing the homework before and really sharing that with us here. Do you all know you all had full access to the budget, right? So you could ask Tanya any question about the budget. If you need more time and clarification,
Yeah.
if she agrees, she can always meet with you on one-on-one via Zoom, wherever, and go over with you to understand it. So you can become treasurer one day or learn the process, please, if you so wish to. But also know transparency is key here. Pakita, any updates on the banner for the podium?
No, not at this time. We're working on it.
Okay, can I ask where we are with that phase? Because it's been a month. Can we ask where we are with that?
We are working on it.
Okay.
My partner here has a little bit more information. I'm gonna turn it over to.
Dorinda, is everyone okay if Dorinda speak? Dorinda speak? Yes, Dorinda.
You guys told her not to worry, because I'm in contact with the vendor, and I already spoke to him, I asked him for samples, I could share with you guys, so. If she calls in, he would know that, so she doesn't have to worry, once I get the samples, I'll share it, and she can. And
Okay.
if she has any ideas, she can send it over to me.
It would it be possible to have some samples by the middle of next month, so we can share with the council? Because I would like to get the council's opinions on the style, so we can all input on how it looks. Because they have opinions, and I love opinions. So and that way we can get feedback, because that would take that's a whole process itself. Sorry. Thank you, Pakita. What's the word Judge Judy don't like? Judge Judy, what's the word she don't like?
Basically.
She don't like that word. Okay, folks. And then also I would like to ask, I would like to suggest that we do something here earlier this year and next year. We are putting aside a lot of money for the end of the celebration, and there's no work ready to happen right now, but I'd like to establish a pre-committee, like to just start thinking about this. As you go around to your schools, you could give this committee, hey, this school has a nice auditorium. Where did we have it last year? You could start navigating these things. I would like to be I would like to be a part of chair. I will guide someone to help chair, but as I train people, as I make my way out to do this stuff, but who would like to chair the committee for the end of year school celebration? So this is different than the breakfast. So the breakfast was where we had the legislative principal breakfast with the principals and the legislators of the district and parent leaders. This one is end of year school celebration. What this means is that we, in June month, around there, we can decide when. We identify a school where we try to make it accessible, a large enough school. We order food for the entire district, and then we have performances. So ideally, this is how it's supposed to work. So ideally, Redwood, Mount Count Basie. But we had the smoke thing. No, we had the smoke thing, the air thing from Canada.
Yeah, before.
Oh.
Oh, sorry. Woo-hoo. Okay, there you go. Smoke was 2 years ago. Yeah, and we had it. So the idea is, sorry. Oh, we can all talk. Sorry, let's raise your hands so I can hear you. I want to hear you. So was it Pakita and then Simone?
Just, grabbing.
You were there.
I was there.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, we did it like that because of the whole smoke thing.
Yeah, the air quality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So ideally, what's gonna happen is we wanna have at least, let's say, like 5 school max. But the committee will discuss all of them. It's gonna give you an overview. What we do is at the end of the school year, I will apply for citations and all this other stuff. And I'm gonna train somebody to work with me who would like to see themselves in a leadership role in the future of the council, how to do these things, so we can build relationships with people. And this is my way of saying thank you for you and all of us serving for 2 years on the council. So you have a certificate of recognition or citation from the council members, various years that you all have served, have done a great job with that. And we give those out to you all, council members, at that event. Also, too, anyone you think we should highlight, a principal or whatever the committee decide. But also, too, what's nice is we're going to showcase the district. It's an end of year celebration. So we got a nice auditorium, like a school, like what we had where we had that thing at 217 recently. We had something when we had a town hall. How that they decorated the stage. It was beautiful. They really prepared for it. So what they did is, and then we'd have like 5 schools across the district perform. It could be a poetry, it could be a band, something, it could be a dance, it could be something from the school culture, diverse, of course, and across the district. And then they perform. We say thank you to whoever we want to thank, and then we also have meals at the end. And this time, it's for the entire district. Everyone is invited, and people really come out. They look forward to it. So, I would like to be part of the committee. Anyone else want to be part of the committee? 1, 2. We could all be part of the committee, by the way. 1. Don't all raise your hand at once. 1, 2. Latifa, 3, 4, 5, 6. No. Can you mark it down, please? Oh, can you mark it down, Latifa? VJ, Quentin, Julie, was that you, Lou? Oh, GK, Simone, did you raise your hand? No, yeah, Simone, and then Pakita. Was that you, Latifa? Oh, you're writing that. Yeah, Latifa. Was that you too? Was that you, Tanya? No, okay. All right, so.
I raised my hand,
Okay.
Lauren.
Simone, Pakita, Latifa, who am I missing?
Lauren.
No. You raise your hand, yeah? Yay, yes, you have one more, yes. Anyone else?
Me.
Julie?
I'm very good at last minute. Go get some mints.
We love the effort. Please, thank you for saying yes. So we love the effort. Was that Neuron? Oh, she's not there. Okay. Oh, Neuron. All right. So who wants to chair the committee now? No, chairing means I just said I would like. No, I said I'll be guiding. So I will. No, again, this is not you chairing alone. I mean, like you'll be the one to make the final decisions on things, but we all give comments. And Lauren, raise your hand. Yay! Can we unmute her? And we can make sure she's on. Like, okay. You co-host. Lauren, did you want to? You said you want to host? You want to be the committee chair? You said
no.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'll be the committee chair. I'll be the committee chair for that.
Sounds right.
And I give chances, okay? So Quentin and I will be co-chairs. Is that what you said, Quentin? Yeah. So Quentin and I will be co-chairs of the NFA celebration. And in terms of your feedback and all that stuff, and him and I will make final decisions on how it goes and who we include in schools, but we of course welcome all suggestions. But we'll make it as a committee, we'll decide things. We'll create a little, in the same chat, we'll discuss everything for transparency. But we will take this seriously and plan. We have a lot of time to plan for next year. But the first course of action will be choosing a date for next year. So when the calendar is up, whatever it is, we'll do that and we'll do that stuff. Okay, so good.
That's one quick question.
Yes, please.
Because I'm looking at the budget and I didn't know about the end of year celebration. I swear I've not been on the council since you had one. I would have remembered.
No,
right?
it was 2 years ago.
2 years. So the end of year celebration funds is not for our breakfast. We
No.
don't
No.
have a
Not a
budget
breakfast,
line
no.
for breakfast.
No, it's next year, so every year,
Breakfast, end of year breakfast.
Yes.
end of year- Oh.
That's
No.
what we decided last.
I don't
year.
know.
well, that's what we decided, because what happened is if we split the funds for two separate events in the same year, we don't have enough. Because remember, it's 25,000
No, no, no.
for 1 year. Yeah, we did. I had brought this up specifically at that meeting and we talked about it. And we had talked about having it one, because we said also to having one every year, just to have one, it loses momentum. So like so in your council, like in your service, 2 years of us here, we'll have one breakfast and we have one end of year. So the next council comes in, they will have, because if we have it every year, we're gonna lose it at something.
So I knew that we're gonna have it like every other year for the end of school celebration, but I didn't know about the legislative breakfast. I thought that would be every year.
I mean, we could discuss that again. We could also do that, but funds. And then we do it halfway, then I think we can really do one and then really well, like with the last one was amazing. And we really get a lot of energy and time and effort it takes to do that, right? As you know, how you just planned your town hall and your town hall too. So that's that. I'm gonna go around the room and I want to give everyone, I'm gonna time you, please. Who we have in the room, okay?
Can you put my timer back? You don't want to test it?
Sure, let's test it.
Test the time? Well, how
No,
many
no.
minutes?
I want to see our faces. It's fine. I'll just do a timer here. There's no pressure, but and you can say that you don't want to, okay? I do believe in transparency, and I believe that no matter what concerns we as a council have, we should be able to talk about it. And also too, what's most important to me is for us to move on, learn, build, and build as we go along. And also too, that's one of our strengths as a district, globally and also internally here as a council. It has worked really well over the years. So this part here is not about accusations or pointing fingers. It's say, how would you like to see our council improve in which way? If you have any comments, we would like to capture that. Any ideas? We're midway, right, of our year. So any ideas, just randomly point it out. GK, you first.
Any ideas how to improve?
If maybe there's no improvement needed, but if you have any to share, please.
Let me say something that is touchy. Yeah, I've now figured out this attendance rule. You know, I don't get me wrong. If someone can explain, I think that's been going on, and we have done quite a lot. I think we need both simplicity and I still don't know. You know what I mean? I kind of. So if I don't know intuitively and quickly, then it is something very complicated. Let me put it that way.
Thank you so much.
A clarification of that would be good. I'm not advocating particular thing.
Okay.
So that's how that looks logical and consistent and makes it easy.
Okay. Thank you.
That's one thing that I don't.
So I think whenever we make decisions or we make things, let's make it for clarity reason and for ease of following it through to be concise, clear, and okay, that's good feedback. I'm gonna call Simone, feedback.
I think in general, we are doing good. And I'm quite happy with how we behave as a council. I mean, I've mentioned it before. What I prefer is to not be like all out in public. When there's an issue with me, you can always talk to me behind the scenes and tell me if I made a mistake or if you're not agreeing. And I was just not happy last month, how we handled attendance. I was also emotional about it. I wish that we can do that in different ways.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And again, no one needs to respond to anyone's comments, right? I didn't ask for that. It's not a rebuttal. This is how you feel.
Yeah.
Don't respond to anyone's comment. That's not what we're about. It's Naroon.
I'm doing good. I think, for me, I'm struggling with communicating with you guys, and I feel like the space, I'm not feeling the space anymore. I don't know. So that's how I'm feeling.
Okay.
It could be, I don't know, it could be many things. So I'm not feeling the space. Like when I initially started, I was very excited to come. Now I feel like, it's not burden. I'm like, I feel like I don't belong here. That's what I'm feeling.
Okay, and thank you for sharing that and to being vulnerable. I appreciate it. Utah.
I think we're doing good as a community. One thing I feel like we could improve on is probably the meeting organizations and especially the agendas part. Sometimes our meetings can drag on for things that we could have resolved offline quickly. So I think those are things that it's obviously not anyone's fault, but if we are all become a little bit more mindful, things can probably improve quite a lot. So I think that's my feedback.
Thank you so much for sharing that. And I like the part where you also said you think we're doing good and that, but there's little room for improvement too, because we should always celebrate what we're doing great too, right? Tanya.
Yeah, I think that overall we're doing great. I think that there can be maybe some more knowledge sharing amongst us because there's people here that know, well, collectively, we all know a lot more than any of us individually know. So, I mean, honestly, I believe heavily on Natifa and Simone because it's like, hey, come to the campus with me. Let's go visit together. Even like Quentin, like lean on the people who might be able to help you or have connections. And like, not people you've been here before. So I ask you sometimes things because I'm like, I don't know where to go. Where do I go with this request? Because we're all new at this, right? None of us knows. I talked to a teacher at a parent-teacher conference today who said, I accidentally had my D20.
Can you unmute because Lauren has to hear too? I'm sorry.
Sorry, Lauren. I was speaking with a teacher today and I accidentally had my D28 thing on. He goes, what's that? And the man's like, your retirement age. So even teachers don't even know what the heck we do sometimes. So how are we gonna know what we do, right? So I think when we share knowledge amongst ourselves, we would really, we would do great. If we would probably elevate the experience more and know what to do. One of my questions at the end of this is gonna be, what do we have to start planning for this, like the building, the plan thing? Because I don't even remember, when do we have to do it by? What's the next steps? And we've only done it once before for me. But some of you have done it many times. So you're like, well, I know what's going to happen. That's easy. We don't have to talk about that ahead of time. So, yeah.
Thanks for sharing. Natifa.
For me, as I said, like, I think, I think in general, like we have a great council. And I always just, preface that, personally, I don't have any issue with anyone. I would say like for me, I definitely started this year in a very transitional role because I know I'm not going to be on the council next year, even if I'm not eligible to run or anything like that. So there were things that I know when I came in, I was very eager to like learn about certain different things or whatnot. And at this point in time, like where I can be a resource, I don't know everything or whatnot. But I just want us to also realize that in a year, this council is going to change. So the relationships that we have gone to each other, and and I'm sorry that Narun is not feeling the way that she felt coming in or so forth. But I think we've been privileged in D28. And when you're in a space of privilege, you have to sometimes realize that you were there and think of what if I was not? What if I was in a more contentious district? What if I was in a place where we couldn't sit like this and break bread with each other and so forth? Because no matter whether you're in a good council or a non-functioning council, the business of the council has to go on. So when I speak or whatever it is from that perspective. Like one of my things that I feel like I somewhat failed as a parent leader for the past couple of years. Every year I went in saying, I'm not going to be like on PA or whatever it is. And then until I was actually leaving, there wasn't people who wanted to step up. So I just think from the council, we have to be very careful that we do not dilute the objective things that we have to set aside. Like, okay, so Tanya mentioned, and like, I've been admiring Tanya. Like, Tanya came in and she hit the ground running. Like, I was ready to kick out VJ for president this year and vote for Tanya, but she wanted to be treasurer. But you know, and I'm saying no, but I'm saying from my whole also thinking of transition, because VJ has also expressed that, you know, most likely he's not going to be there, because it's always one thing when you're like next to the person, but when you're the one who's in charge, then you feel like a different weight. And so that's why, like, I'm so happy to see like how a lot of the new council member, because I was you a couple years ago, right? And so like, I just really think that everyone has unique skills that they've been offering, which I'm happy about. So even if I end up calling you out, and I think, as I said, I've called out like everybody here on something, and feel free to call me out. You know, that's
Thank
how
you.
things go. But I just, like, for me, the improvement is just in terms of process and being able to separate our feelings from the work of the council.
Thank you.
That's
Julie.
I think that similar to other members, I feel like I'm just trying to learn as much as possible. Meetings are long. They've gotten better. The other thing is, I feel like my first year on this council, there were some very tense meetings where I was like, this is not what I thought I was signing up for. You know what I'm talking about. But also that's gotten better. I feel like the meetings are less about, you know, they're less emotional and personal. I still wonder what our impact is as council, but I think it happens at a very at one-on-one basis, like with your school. So that was something I didn't realize when I was signing up for this too. I thought like there was a lot more that we did as together, but now I'm realizing the impact is really more individually with the schools, which I think is wonderful. And then last but not least, I agree, the way we communicate in the WhatsApp, I try to keep up. This last one with the bylaws, I just didn't even understand what you guys were talking about.
Exactly.
Like, I was like, I can't comment, I don't know what side I'm on.
That is so dense.
Was that, please let her finish.
Oh, too remote, I was like, and then if we don't excuse you, that's where I lost you. I'm like, if you're not excused from your remote participation, what then?
No, so so, okay, thank you. So, sorry, let me not clarify here,
Yeah.
please, because it'll be a long, yeah, please, we're not, please, yeah. Thank you. Keep it concise and short.
5 minutes
And
to like understand what everyone's opinion is, so I usually abstain, because I'm like, I don't understand.
Thank you for sharing. Lauren Clavin.
How much time do I have?
Wait. Please put your comments in the WhatsApp. 1 minute.
No, I'm really sorry that I'm not there. I think this week is a tough week for a lot of us. I myself am dealing with a lot of grief and sadness, and if that's you, I'm sending you a big hug. I have a lot of gratitude for the people in this space in different ways. One, because so many of you have so much knowledge and experience that I have learned from and that I admire. And just that you show up because especially during times like this, when some of us may feel powerless and afraid, we have the privilege of being able to make a really big impact where it matters in our communities, on our blocks, in our schools, and that means a lot to me, and that brings me a lot of comfort. And you know, I'm always going to be the one that will uplift our humanity and bring that into the center and bring that make that the focus of what we do. I personally believe that being vulnerable and sharing our feelings and our sensitivities and crying if we need to is actually a strength, and it's not a problem, and it's not an impediment to the work that we do. I have felt embarrassed by that before in my life, but now that I'm old, I don't care anymore. I think it actually is important to model that and to bring it into these conversations and these spaces. And thank you for indulging me in that. But you know, I've been in a lot of different CEC spaces across the city, and we are lucky. In that one, we are functional. I'll just say that, and very functional. And that even when we disagree, I'm really grateful, VJ, to you for bringing this up tonight. We can disagree and we can do it in a loving, positive way. And if you haven't been to other CEC spaces, you may not know that that's unique. So thank you, VJ. Thank you to everyone here. I just am sending my love, because this is a difficult time for a lot of us. And that's all I've got. I appreciate each and every one of you. And I just hope that we can lead with compassion.
Thank you, Lauren. Paquita Williams.
Oh, hi. I'm new.
Can you unmute, please? Unmute.
Oh, I have to unmute.
Yeah, please.
So hi, I'm new. It's just been a few months. I'm excited still. I'm excited still. You know, I was reading, you know, whatever was going on in the WhatsApp, and I was like, well, you know, I wasn't clear. I felt a lot of, I don't want to curse, buffoonery. You know, the is I ain't, you know, so I said, let me not say anything. I'm still happy. I'm still excited. I'm, you know, the patience, our AA, just the patience and the love she showed me. Because I tell you, I was always, you know, leading this, leading that, but it was the back folks that was doing the work that made me, you know, like, oh, well, this is what we're doing today. It was the back people. And, you know, just with the patience and said, okay, you know, you're just showing me and just being patient with me. I don't want to lose the, you know, the fire that I feel. And also, like, I hear you, and I want to be positive with the school. I want to be helpful with the school. I don't want to just show up and say, what's going on? And nothing is done. You know, but I'm very excited about the whole damn thing.
Yeah.
That's not a curse, but thank you.
Thank you so much, Paquita. Quentin Mastin.
Awesome. You guys took a lot of what I wanted to say, but one thing that I wanted to do was, we're all parents and we all have these different backgrounds that we come from. But when we're here, I'm a D75 rep, somebody else is an IEP rep, and then we're all advocating for our schools. We're talking about budgets and bylaws. I would love for us to like meet outside of this. As just human parents. And like whoever talks about CEC has to put like $1 in a jar.
You're fun.
Small fun.
We're awesome parents that even want to be here, and I would love to like see everybody else. I keep seeing everybody else in their little times of like things that they're doing awesome. Latifah, hey, I'm just sitting at this wall, like, awesome. And it's just like, yo, you're human out of here talking about bylaws and all that stuff. And it's like everybody does so many things, and we always get a little glimpse of who we are outside of there. And I would love for us to even set up an event We don't gotta put a budget. Put all right, so and it's just like, you know.
Yeah.
We can go bowling, we can do that, and we probably all sell drink to us are good. And it's just like, do something that's just like outside of this realm, just so we actually see each other as parents, fathers, mothers, and just human. And then come back here, and I just think that'll just like increase the energy and community. Because we are one of the best districts. I've been to several other meetings, and they suck. Like they're not
They're
moving.
trying.
They can't. They're trying. Like I say suck in the most respectful possible way. But it's like they haven't met forums. They don't even know how that feels. They haven't passed anything. They can't contribute to their communities much because they're not even like that strong. And then people start and then they quit midway, and it's just like we're here in the midst of sicknesses and all these other things. We're still here. We're still showing up strong. So I know that outside of here, we're just as awesome or even better. And I would love to experience that with Dorinda. That's why I would love to do that. It's the end of the year, so it's probably too late. But I will, if it's not too late, throw some ideas in the Snapchat. I will throw some stuff in there. And but I'm still hoping to like really get this done this year, next year. We could probably do that every year. But I'll throw some ideas in the chat. If anybody has anything in the chat, just throw it in the chat. What we can do. It could be food, it could be games. I'm cool with both.
Thanks, Quentin. Dorinda, you were the question before. You're the glue behind the scenes. So you don't communicate to all of us at once, but behind the scenes you do. And I think if you're okay with this, her input is important because she sees it from a different perspective. Anything you want to see us improve on, things we're doing great. Anything you want to add, please.
I think you guys are all awesome. Just being on the council, coming in new as well. Thank you, Latifa, for always guiding me. VJ, thank you so much for your leadership. Our constant one-on-one, our meetings, y'all don't get to see VJ and I communicate for every little thing, the texting, the calling, all the time. I bother him so much for every little thing. But I feel like this council really came in like, some of y'all are not active, but I know, like I see it, you care, you're on it, you're trying. So that's what I noticed from like other council, like I feel like everyone tries to be more involved. The only thing I would say if I had to give one feedback in regards to the business itself, what I've been taught and trained from FACE, we have to continue to do business on email because they don't allow business on WhatsApp. CEC business shouldn't be done on WhatsApp or text or like that. It should be documented. That's the only feedback.
Great. Thank you so much. Thank you all for sharing. Listen, I've sat through. Oh, sorry. I want to make sure he's awake. Yes, Lulu, go. Yeah, I want to make sure Lulu. His nose is here.
I actually didn't plan to say anything, but after Neuron said, I want to say something. I first time met Neuron on the training. When we were first
went
there.
Man.
And we were on subway whole way, back to Queens, and we talked the whole road. It's quite a long time.
Lou, unmuted. Okay, good.
Yeah. So I still remember her, I really passionate. I actually talked to other people about, this girl really passionate about the thing and, something really better. She talked about, I don't know if I, want to share, but a little bit, like she was intern, I think intern in the high school or something like that, right? And as a teacher training, like she saw what happened there and she feel unjust, I want, to contribute more, those kind of things really come out from her, and she's obviously younger than me, so it's more, like not negative way, but kind of a childish passion. I like being more, like cynical, But yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I understand a lot of things. I kind of understand, I don't know, but I kind of have a sense of why you feel the way you feel. Because all of us, we have family, we have job, and honestly, not everybody's same. Some people have their job more, less likable than ours, right? So, for example, I haven't attended much of the SLT meetings because they always hold hours that I cannot. Sometimes they do have a Zoom, which, yes, beforehand, I really appreciate, but sometimes they don't, like odd hours. So, it's very different. I want us to be accommodating. I think that the argument on the, which I didn't touch on either, but I think just that one issue, last month thing. I mean, we should able to accommodate him, but on the other hand, we should make the best effort. So these two things come together, right? So if we become kind of police versus, like pleasing people, right? Then it's very hard. Like I want to get away for 2 times. If you give me 2 times, I'm gonna get away from that. That kind of thing, like give me 10 days vacation, I'm gonna take the whole 10 days vacation. So that's something. I mean, everybody make the best effort. The meantime, other side, we do accommodating.
Thank you.
If we two sides come together, they will. There are, some countries cannot make their homeroom. I know your friend on the CEC28, they haven't been, I don't know even recently, but she was censored. I mean, she was, what the call word, but she was removed because she never had the in-person meeting. She was just rejected that. It was always full. So those kind of things happen in many places because, I don't know why, they may have a reason, but they need to make the best.
Thank you.
We want to make the best effort and accommodating, I think that should be, and one more thing. So, Julie mentioned, in the beginning of this term, we have some heated, which I really hate. I think we should work on things that we can all agree on, like how the schools and stuff like that. Those political things come to happen. And, Laura talking about election,
Can we not address the one?
honestly, not. We should not. There are half of the country over this one, half of them did. And you cannot just always, we should not. And also, I just want to, I know this is not right, but.
Wait, if you know it's not right, wait, hold on.
No,
Wait, I wanna call back order, please, order, point of order.
We live in
One
democracy.
second, point of order. If the goal of this was not to call anyone's name and you called.
No, I'm not calling.
No, Luke, excuse me, please. You addressed Simone comment, you addressed Julie's comment, you addressed Naroon's comment. This was not what we're gonna do here tonight. And thank you for everyone for adhering to that. I say, what if we as a council never existed on the community? What would happen? Like, how could other families find, and when I see the 1 or 2 or 3 people who come with questions and Vanessa starts and people they're coming every month and as one of you mentioned, the individual changes we make, the impact on that one school, that one parent, or that one principal we call out in the meeting and say thank you. I don't see that happening anywhere else. And I think what we have done in this community here, what we have done beautifully is like, we have created a system where we can have a conversation like this. We could talk about the tough topics, the painful ones, the hard ones, but we are still in a space where we can say, move forward. And I want to congratulate, I want to thank all of you for being partners in that, because I didn't do that. you. I actually do not continue. He stopped, and I appreciate that because this is how we function with we respect what we have here and what we need to do as a community, as a group. And I want to thank you all for being vulnerable. I want to thank you all for sharing how you feel. And I like that heated sorry, I want to say this. I think it's healthy to have hot and heated debates because I also know we leave here laughing, going home, and we come back next month because you know what? We should feel authentic and say how we feel. That's what you got elected to do. And to bring concerns that you are hearing. So don't ever apologize for being authentic, please. You should not feel that you have, because I always say that around this table here, each of us have an equal place. No one is more powerful or less powerful. And if you personally feel offended someone, you can put them aside and talk to them about it. But also too, we know we move beyond that. And next month, we got an agenda to do, and we have presenters and we have more families coming. So in the spirit of that, I want to say that I want to ask the council as a whole for maybe one or two things. I want to say that if we feel passionate about something that we feel really passionate about, this is not a place to bring it. Because we can handle, we cannot solve that. It's beyond the scope of what this is allowed for. If we want to change the world, we want to change how the world is viewed, this is not what we're here for. Understand your role, what we are here to do, and there's a line where we have to remember what your role is and respect what his role is too. He has the equal platform to do the same thing. And he's allowed to be passionate about what he's allowed to be passionate about the same way how I am. I think if we respect everyone doing that, we'll continue being amazing. We'll continue being friends. And when we go outside, we can have dinner and drinks and cocktails after and still laugh. Because this doesn't define us. Our work, our passion is what defines us. And that is what I see in each of you, the passion for where I sit. And sometimes I don't get involved in the chat because I welcome that. Honestly, I welcome because you're communicating and you're discussing how you feel. It's okay. But there's a balance in where we have to say, okay, well, maybe I could say it this way. Maybe I shouldn't say that. And let's be cognizant of how that person goes home to their family after that. After what we say, because it's not just like, here, go home. No, we take home that feeling, that pain, that anxiety, that whatever it is with us to our families. And we're all parents, we know what that feels like. We gotta feed them home too and take care of them too, and our pets and our cats and our dogs. And we have a full life. Let's encourage each other. Let's empower each other. That's all I have to say. And I want to say for the first time, we are going to be finishing at 9:47 p.m. But also, too, remember, this doesn't define you. You have a life beyond this. CEC doesn't define you, it's part of you, but continue being great, continue doing great work, and the work continues. This will be my last year, like I said to many of you here. And like Natifa said, if I may use your example, I am in a mentorship role too. Like I mentioned to many of you, I am continuing to pull, and you'll see I've been saying, partner with me so I can teach you this. Partner with me so I can teach you this. I'm actually like passing over a lot of things to you so you can train, because I don't want to hold on to power or knowledge. I want to share, prepare many of you, like Natif and I have been doing, to really be amazing and continue the amazing work in this district. With that being said, if it's okay to everyone, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm
Where I'm going?